Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Monkey Brains podcast. Once again, I am Amber, and everyone else.
Jim.
River.
I'm so.
And our special
Wait, what do I
guest
do
for
again?
today.
Hi. That's it?
You're welcome.
That's it, really?
Welcome.
Dang, you're boring.
God, you're so boring. I regret having you in the podcast already.
That is super big. Oh my god, what the hell? Why you gotta go so far into that gunpowder? I mean powder? Power.
What
What are you talking about?
I meant to say power. I said powder. I don't know.
Oh, you said
This
gunpowder.
I'm sorry.
You.
I'm high on Adderall. I'm sorry.
No, this always
Not this bit
It's like-
again.
Yeah, it's like we let you talk and then it just divulges into like the most random thing ever.
Like, lesson learned. Never let Soul say anything ever again. Just duct tape him shut.
No. Let him speak. Let him speak. He must
Yeah.
speak. He must
Let me
speak.
cook. Let me cook.
No, do
Yeah.
not let him cook.
Let him
Let him do anything but cook.
Monkey Brains podcast. Yeah.
No, yeah, because like they hated Jesus for saying it. Like,
Yeah, and I was like, DK, monkey brains.
oh, that goes hard.
Yeah.
I like
What was it?
how you go DK monkey brains and not like.
DK, this shit don't rhyme. Bum, bum, bum. I just got the wrong letters.
Monkey brains.
Monkey dance.
What's the? We now need an official Monkey Brains theme song. Someone
I'm
write
gonna-
the lyrics for that.
I'm gonna hire.
Oh, hold on.
15
Soul,
I'm gonna
Soul,
hire
you,
15
me and you,
ballerinas.
Soul, do you want to collab? We can make a full collab for
And
Yeah.
Monkey Brains theme song.
Wait,
And
we
I'm
need
gonna
to-
and
we
I'm gonna
need
hire
someone-
15
and you know what we
ballerinas
need?
to write
We
a
need to hire-
choreography.
We need to hire like a notable rapper to sing
Me.
it.
Me.
You
I can make the lyrics. We don't have to worry about getting a rapper.
listening to MF Doom won't make you a rapper.
Well, we do an
Okay. I
AI
don't
we
even
do an
listen to him
AI
that much
voice
anymore.
of Joe Biden for our.
Oh, American people.
Aren't you that one American guy?
I'm here to give
Monkey
you
brains!
chocolate chip.
Am I allowed to make that impression on here?
Yes.
What, of Joe Biden?
I love Joe Biden.
Wait, of Joe
So-
Biden? I mean, like, you're not dead. He's not dead. So
Do you think I
you're
should
fine.
email? I should email the president and ask if he can join our podcast.
Yeah, we should do that. We
That's
should ask
so.
That might not be a good idea.
Why not?
Well, it's thanks for asking, Amber.
Why
If
would
you must
emailing
know,
the president about a trivial matter be wrong?
It's not trivial. I promise you, it is not trivial. My grandmother is very opinionated. Opinionated. That's a word.
That's a word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's very
It's a
opinionated on the
word.
president. So
Hello, America.
yeah.
So does she think that it would be like high treason to email the president asking to join our podcast?
It's more so like him him gracing us with his presence is more so what I feel she would be against.
Wait, I need to. Does she like chocolate chip?
That I do not know.
You need to ask her.
Well,
What
she's
is
doing
she?
something right now.
How would I not?
Yeah, just be like, hey yo.
Who said
That's what
she
you're
can
doing.
do that?
Just, hey, you're not allowed to do what you're doing, Mom. Come over here now. Answer my question. What is your favorite
I'll
ice
probably
cream?
get my cousin over here.
Get your cousin.
Oh,
Get
you
your
know what you just reminded me of?
Uh,
There's like this one trend on Twitter, and it's like people will make accounts called like Forest Goblin, and they'll reply to like. You just we should get that image.
God, you just killed Jem.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Haley's
look
profile
at the
picture.
Look at the profile picture. Look at Haley's profile
Oh my lordy lord.
I thought someone reacted. Okay, anyway, I was gonna say, it reminded me of a Twitter trend where people
Mm-hmm.
make accounts called like Forest Goblin or like a Bridge Goblin, and they'll reply to like people saying like, how was it? They'll reply like saying, "Solve my riddle," and just that.
Solve my riddle, and it's
Yeah,
a
I'm
picture.
reminded of that one like so I forget the exact tweet, but it's like someone tweeted about something and then like some guy with a Mario picture replied with like, "This is unrelated, but I really need your help right now."
Yeah, exactly that. I saw one today that was just like someone, and then they named themselves Slender Man, and it was like, "Find my pages."
I have seen that. They quote tweeted him.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh yeah. You know what? Since Haley's here and Soul is here as well,
Uh-huh.
Soul, you left the last podcast early, and I never got to hear about your full opinion of would you take $1 million or enter the infinite pizza dimension?
Okay, hold on. Before I just want to interject real fast and say before Soul goes and answers that question, did you even listen? Like, did you listen to that episode like after the fact, or?
I listened for a little bit, but I had stuff to do.
You didn't get to the pizza dimension section?
I didn't get to No, the thing is that I answered that fucking question when we got to that point.
No,
and
but
before
you-
I left.
There was so much added on past that point though.
Yeah, there was so much new lore.
It went on for
Oh,
like 45
God.
minutes.
So much new pizza dimension lore.
Did you just like create a pizza
Yeah,
dimension?
pizza dimension, and then we
re-asked the
kind of
question?
we expanded a bit on like food dimension lore.
Yeah.
It was
Right.
it was wacky.
Lord, drop me right now. Just give me a quick summary.
45
Okay.
minutes of lore. Oh god.
Okay.
That's it.
So there's one pizza slice. That pizza slice takes you to another pizza dimension. You can only take so many bites out of it until there's no more pizza left. The pizza dimension is only composed of pizza that's purely pepperoni cheese pizza. You can take other people with it if you're falling from a building, and you can go into and out of the pizza dimension to cushion your fall. You can take them as infinite pizzas you want. You can have other people enter the pizza dimension as well, and that's it. There's also the
Okay.
soup dimension.
Also, you don't have to take a bite of it. You can just like put your tongue on it, and that transport you as well.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to be paying attention?
Something to note
Yes.
about the okay, so something to note between like going to the pizza dimension and going back into the real world is that if you lick the pizza and you go into the pizza dimension, you go into the pizza dimension with what momentum you had. Like, so if you're falling from, let's say in the real world, you're falling from a 10-story building, and just before you hit the ground, you go to the pizza dimension. If you go back into the real world, you will still carry that same momentum of falling, like. That your momentum is basically paused the moment you leave the real world, and when you come back, it resumes, and then you keep falling.
So you're telling me if I have this momentum of like 150 meters per second squared, which is the acceleration, what? So basically, I'm stuck in the pizza dimension because if I go back into the dimension, it's basically either I die from being like crushed from the velocity at which I would come back to, and how much I'm accelerating because falling off a 10-story building, or just be like whiplashed by all of like the force that the water is pushing against me if I were to go to like a lake or like a deep body of water. So I would just take the $1 million because there's so much to the world other than pizza.
Weak. I mean,
I-
a good choice.
I don't,
But good choice.
I don't blame you. After 45 minutes of discussing that, I just went with $1 million because my head
Okay.
was dying.
Here's my.
wait.
I want to give a quick rundown of where I went with this.
Yeah, because
My
you chose the
idea-
pizza dimension.
Wait, no, but I want to ask Hailey first because then everybody has their
Oh, yeah.
decisions made.
Yeah.
Okay.
Haley, did you listen to any of that?
Haley, have you listened to any other podcasts?
She's been
before
watching
this?
videos this whole time.
I was busy doing Duolingo, so can you
Ah.
repeat like the past
Um,
5 minutes?
We've been recording for
So-
10.
Okay.
That's half of the
Okay,
time we've been doing
I
this
got.
podcast.
Okay, I can run it down. I think I got the gist of it.
Okay.
Basically, you choose either between the pizza dimension or $1 million. The rules of the pizza dimension is you get a slice of pizza, and that if you connect your tongue or take a bite out of it, you transport to the pizza dimension. And your velocity at which you teleport at is paused in the real world, and when you come back, you go back with that same speed. So if you're falling off of a building at a really high velocity, and then you went to the pizza dimension, when you go back, you'll have that velocity of which when you were falling off of the building.
Yes, and the pizza dimension is made entirely out of pepperoni cheese pizza. No, there is no other substance that exists in that world. It's just made of pizza.
Would it shatter the universe of a butter and olive?
You can bring
Okay,
other
hold on.
objects in there, but that's all you're doing.
Okay. So,
Wait. What?
okay. So infinite pizza dimension, but whatever speed you were at before you moved in there is the speed you get out. So if you're going fast, you get out fast. If you go slow, then you get out slow. Or $1 million flat out.
Oh, $1 million.
That's what I'm
That's not even
saying.
hard.
Yeah.
Weak.
I mean, good choice.
All right,
Why would I
River,
need a pizza dimension?
River,
True.
explain your logic because you wanted.
So, my logic was that I'm taking the pizza dimension, and the idea here is that if I can somehow get this one slice of cheese pizza, the interdimensional cheese pizza, classified by the SCP Foundation as safe, I could sell pizza. Do you understand how crazy that is? Like, I could be monitoring an entire sales worth of pizza and never have to worry about stock and just go in, grab pizza, get out, and serve fresh hot pizza to local SCP Foundation employees, and I can make a giant profit off of that. And like, I mean, like, that's so cool. I could make more than $1 million with that. I wouldn't even need the $1 million.
I'm thinking of this now. My question is, let's say this is in the boundaries of the real world with no SCP foundations. What do you do then?
Yeah, solve that
Wait,
one.
so if I
Marco.
don't have
Nobody wants to
so
do
you're,
that.
you're
Let's say
basically
like you right now. Let's say you right now in the real world got that piece of pizza. How would you go about using it with what the real world has? No SCP Foundation, no fictional anything.
Yeah.
Oh, I can still. I'm sure. I promise you, I can still make a fortune off of it just from like, if I go to like conventions or like, I don't know, if I went around to like local businesses and conventions and like I'm sure if I went to like a Comic-Con or something, I could make a fortune there and I could really kickstart my business.
But what about like FBI agents? And what if they're there and they see you go into this pizza dimension, grab pizza, and then get out? And like that's an anomalous like thing that is like completely alien to the entire world.
You know how FBI agents go to Comic-Con very regularly?
No, that's the thing. FBI agents are everywhere.
How do you know that?
I know that because if you like talk to people who if you talk to people who if you've seen like documentaries or like interviews with like ex-FBI agents, like there's definitely like a sense that no matter what there is, there's always eyes watching. Maybe it's not like as common as like the media puts it, But like on the off chance that there's an FBI agent going undercover and they see River fucking pulling out pizzas from the pizza dimension, or just like teleporting back from the pizza dimension with a hot and ready pizza while in a place that is very hard to see, lucky for them they're seeing, then that could potentially like that could make River number one wanted person in the entire world.
Just imagine.
hold
I'm
on.
just
Because
imagining like.
that's an anomalous
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
phenomenon
I thought we
that's
were just
completely
talking-
alien to
I-
the world.
I thought we were just talking statewide. You're talking internationally.
No, I'm not talking internationally. I'm talking about like eventually you will become the number one wanted person in the world, and statewide that would count because you would be on the highest priority of catching, interrogating, and possibly putting in Area 51 and probing.
I kind of I like the imaginary scenario of River teleporting to the pizza dimension, and then she like grabs her pizzas. She teleports out, then she teleports out in the middle of a bunch of guys with guns surrounding her, the. She teleported out.
A bunch of FBI agents surrounding
Drop
me
the
with,
pizza!
like, AK. Drop the pizza! But it's just food, man. Jeez.
Would
And
you
then
like? Hey guys, would you like some pizza?
Cool. I'm gonna go hide in the pizza dimension. Be back and never.
You see,
Boom. Gone.
Well, and your life is only pizza
and
when you're
then
on
they,
the
and then
run.
what they do is they set up a cage in that specific spot.
And you know what's funny is that the fact that in the pizza, like in the pizza dimension, is it kind of like the Nether and like the overworld for Minecraft, where like your position changes depending on the position you are in.
Oh
Depending,
no, we talked about it's the same position.
It's the same
wait,
position.
I have
Okay,
a,
so literally,
Forward in the
if,
pizza
if
dimension.
so, yeah, so literally people
So
can
just
just
to
spawn
go-
camp you.
Yeah.
wait, my question. Here's my question. Let's say you're in like a human equivalent of a bird cage. Okay.
Mhm.
You're
So
like in
this
a-
is
like
what
a-
I was thinking.
Well, hang on. Let me
I've-
finish. Let me
I
finish.
feel like we're on the same
River.
page, but
River, let me finish. I'm asking a
Okay.
hypothetical about this. So you're in like this portable cage, okay? And then you lick the pizza, you go to the pizza dimension, and then someone carries the cage away. If you go back, are you still in the cage, or are you in the place where the cage was when you teleported to the pizza dimension?
That's it.
Huh?
Well, I kind of want to say that, like, I want to pitch in a little bit. Because if it's the same position, I would imagine geographically, not like inside of the cage. So, by the logic that the geographical position is the same, regardless of where you are in the pizza dimension when you teleport out, that if the cage was moved, you would be out of the cage, because the geographical location and the position in which you come back in no longer has the cage to keep you in there.
Hmm.
I mean, it's a fair argument.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if the bird cage was moved and then put in a different spot, then that would mean that there's an invisible border that keeps you from going in different places inside of the pizza dimension,
okay,
and that
hold
you're
on.
being dragged against your will in a different position, and you're
Okay, hold
stuck
on.
there because of the confines of like the real world's bird cage, compared to the pizza world, which is keeping the same position, keeping the same like location inside of the bird cage, which doesn't
Here's-
really make a lot of
here's my
sense
question
considering
now.
what we've been given.
like I have this is kind of gruesome, but at the same time I must know. Let's
Mhm.
say you're in the real world and you lick the pizza and then you go into the pizza dimension, right?
Yeah.
Somebody takes note of where you last stood and they put walls all the way around you. And then like they put walls all the way around like that location. And then they filled it up with sand or something. And then if you teleported back, and assuming that you poof back into the sand, like what happens? Does your whole body suddenly fill with sand? Like lungs and all? Or
That would be so cool.
Wait, hold on a minute. Hold on. I have a.
I'm also. I
think
feel
I
like
have
that
an
applies
answer.
to everything. Like if they just like put a giant concrete block where you were, and then you teleport back, do you just like get fused with the concrete block and die
That's
instantly?
what I was thinking.
Wait, hold on a minute.
You
I
become
think
one with it.
I have a possible like answer for this. I just need to wait because my computer is slow. Hold on.
Are you gonna draw us a picture or something?
Hold on. No. This
so
hold on.
hard.
Wait, hold on. You know what? That works. All right. You know what I think is gonna happen?
Okay, yeah.
You know what I think is gonna happen?
What do you think is gonna?
Okay. I finished this. Okay. So you guys are talking about the infinite pizza, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
Because we were talking about the hypothetical in which someone notices your last location that you were in, puts walls around you while you're in the pizza dimension, and fills up the empty space or the negative space inside of the walls with sand
That's not.
or like some sort of object. Like what would happen?
Unless you like they put a porta potty where you were. That's not physically possible. Like you can't build like concrete walls in like a second, and then the other second like.
No, the thing is that that's assuming you're only in the pizza dimension for 1 second. What if you're in the pizza dimension for a while? Then the possibility of them
if you
being
just
able to
wanted a nice
confide you in a
pizza
wall and
nap
fill
on
it up
top
is
of
much
pizza?
higher.
Did they get like permission from the property owner to put the walls there?
I mean,
Yes.
that
Otherwise,
could be
I don't
another
see how this
point.
is plausible.
It could be that they could own the property that they're putting the walls on.
But
It could
what if
also
they
be
don't?
in like. It
We're
could also
talking
be in
about
the
Comic Con.
dumpster.
Do they own the Comic Con? Whatever. I don't know.
When did
You know
when
what?
has this
What
been
if-
about Comic Con?
It was about it when we did the FBI. Wait,
Yeah.
what if the FBI is trying to trap you? River, you gotta get out of there.
No, you know what? I think it would be so.
I'd like to imagine that Soul's talking to me over a headset. River, you gotta get out of there, and I'm just like, it's fine.
River, we gotta
think-
tell the FBI. You gotta get out of there as soon as you can.
I think it would be like I'm imagining like they like put this block of concrete where you teleport into the pizza dimension, and then when you teleport back, it's just like that one like wall with Han Solo stuck in it in Star Wars.
Oh, that'd be funny. Or it could be like Minecraft where you take like damage because you're colliding with another object.
Ah, yes, that's how this works in a real world.
I mean, maybe.
I get on a I last time I got on a horse, the stable was a bit too low and my head clipped through the ceiling.
Yeah.
And I started
okay.
suffocating.
So I'm gonna guess that a lot of the viewers, or
That was
at
not
least the
what I
people
wanted
who
to
are
put.
gonna watch, are probably tired of listening to pizza talk.
This is the second episode of this shit. We've been
Yeah.
talking it for.
Yeah,
We've
okay,
been
so-
recording
Let's talk about cannibalism. Let's keep the
Yeah.
tradition going. Yeah.
So I wanna propose a new hypothetical. Okay, so what would you rather? Would you rather be
Uh-huh.
able to sweat concrete, or would you rather your mom turn into an everywhere pizza delivery?
Already the mom one. I don't know what you're about
Yeah,
to say, but I already want the mom one.
I want the mom one
Like
too.
your mom or dad turns into an infinite pizza delivery that goes anywhere and
What
feeds
is with
anyone.
you and pizza?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, I want the pizza one. You know why? Because if you're exercising or something and you're sweating concrete, that concrete's gonna like
real.
start drying up because of the oxygen in the
Say
air.
goodbye to your favorite gym.
But imagine how much money you would save to other companies. Imagine how rich people. Imagine how rich.
Yeah, but but the concrete would dry up before you couldn't even muster up the courage to call a company and be like, "Hey,
You
yo,
know,
I
we
sweat
we
concrete."
played Danganronpa yesterday, and they told us a fun fact about sweat that when it evaporates, it cools you down. The fun facts with Danganronpa, and that doesn't happen with concrete.
Yeah,
Concrete can be pretty
it
cold.
doesn't. It can be cold,
Okay,
but
what if you sweat soda then?
soda.
Yeah,
That'd be
Um,
yummy.
My whole body's
What
gonna be
kind?
like sticky as
What
shit.
flavor?
Yeah,
No,
that's true.
okay.
You,
Yeah, what's
you
actually
walk
what's
up-
soda?
You walk.
That matters.
Imagine like you have like high school gym class, and you have to like run the pacer, and you just stink of like Mountain Dew and
No,
So, no, that's the word. If you're doing like root beer or something, you get all bitches. On God.
no, that's not true. That's not true.
Imagine like, okay, you're having sex, okay, and you're sweating a
No.
lot.
You're banging, and then you smell like fucking Fanta. What
No.
you doing?
Call that the ideal fantasy.
No, because it can. Oh, you got me. Okay, but like, imagine if like, how do I put this? No, you sweat soda, but,
Mm-hmm. But
you sweat soda, but, you don't get sticky. Like you're immune to like,
Immune to the stick.
well, yeah, like you're immune to getting sticky and like that, the smell clinging onto you. Your
okay,
clothes are not, but you yourself are.
but that just wait.
So basically it's like so what happens here is I'm going to assume that you're also adding the caveat that the soda flowing off of you is not going to be contaminated by anything on your skin, so it's not immediately undrinkable.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're like,
Wait, hold on. So you would be in an infinite loop of being able to drink your own sweat?
yeah.
Infinite hydration glitch.
Like imagine
Is the soda made out of is the soda made out of soda stuff, or is it made out of body stuff?
it's literally Pepsi.
Okay, so
can I
then
choose
that
any
means-
soda?
Wait, hold on.
Or do I have to go with
is it
Pepsi?
soda of our choice or?
It's Pepsi.
Okay,
I can
wanna
do
die.
Pepsi.
It's
wanna
regular
die.
Pepsi.
I don't remember the
No,
last time I've had
wanna-
Pepsi.
If it was like Coca-Cola, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, sorry, Coca-Cola fans.
Or like root beer,
I don't drink either, so
or ginger ale. I guess
I prefer my lemon lime sodas.
Oh,
like sparkling water.
yeah, sparkling water. Yeah,
That's not lemon lime flavored.
yeah, sparkling water is like
There are lemon lime
soda.
flavored.
Yeah,
I'm not drinking club soda on the regular.
Oh, what's the
Why
one?
not?
What's the water
Yeah.
soda? What's the water soda called?
the water soda. It's
LaCroix?
water.
Soda?
Water,
No.
carbonated water is called club
Yeah,
soda.
carbonated water. Club soda. Oh, that's the one. I hate that.
Why do you hate club
Yeah,
soda?
low-key.
It's like my
Because
favorite
Why
club.
would you like ruin water?
It's like it's one step below LaCroix.
What's LaCroix?
The
Iroquois?
LaCroix is the like
I
soda
love
that
Quakefish.
tastes that is like a hint of the smallest amount of fruit flavoring in it.
Oh,
And
like
it's mostly carbonation.
like vitamin water.
I love.
No idea.
No,
what
no,
you're
it's
talking
like LaCroix is like it's like carbonated water, but they put like a minuscule amount of fruit flavoring in it. We talked about this in another episode.
LaCroix. Images.
Oh,
And I'm like, you
I
assholes,
know
I
what
actually
this is.
enjoy LaCroix.
Yeah,
No,
you
this is
do.
awful. This tastes terrible.
Yeah, I had one, and I'm not a fan.
Yeah, it's like and like club soda is like a step
Oh,
step below that because
LaCroix.
there's no yeah.
Oh,
There,
yeah, I never
club
had
soda is like a step below that because it doesn't even have any flavor to it, which is the only vaguely redeeming thing of LaCroix.
Yeah, I just call it soda water. Because it's
Soda water.
soda.
It's like
Yeah.
the water that you get.
That's basically what it is.
That and
I feel
sparkling
bad.
water are like the two most horrible variations of water ever. Oh wait, not sparkling water. I mean, God, what's the name? Like the Alka-Seltzer feeling water.
What?
Actually, no. I just think that's club water still. Never mind.
Club water?
Clubs.
Yeah, no, never
more of a
mind.
tap water person
I
with,
genuinely have concern for the
Ew.
clubs that served club soda.
Club soda.
I guess it's
Oh,
just
Yeah, you get a cup of soda and it has a club in it. It doesn't even fit in the glass.
Yeah.
You can take it home.
oh,
I hate when
It's
that
got a
happens.
golf club in it.
Yeah, they're like,
It's
oh,
got a cup.
oh, here, have these clubs so you can go beat your wives when you come back home.
Well,
that's
beat
a
the
you
people
thing,
giving you
Cam.
problems at the bar.
That's a you thing.
That's
How's that a
a
me thing? That's like literally a you thing.
Fortnite V-Buck thing.
Yeah, huh?
Let's talk about Fortnite. Who plays
Low
Fortnite?
key, I'm so down to talk about Fortnite right now. How many skins do you guys
Oh,
have?
my brain.
I am
Wait,
incredibly Fortnited right now.
Actually, no. I'm gonna ask River because I know that Amber doesn't play shooter games. River, have
Wait,
you
hang
ever
on.
played
What?
Fortnite?
Okay.
What's funny is that I wanted to make
Look, the-
River play Fortnite with me.
The closest
Wait,
I've
I'm
ever
just-
gotten,
you know what, I'm just-
gotten to playing a shooter game is Resident Evil.
Yeah.
We played Risk of Rain.
I'm just gonna.
I've never played Risk of Rain.
What about Risk of Rain 2?
I've never played
How
Risk of
about-
Rain 2.
How
You should
about
play Risk of Rain 2.
Yeah, I've
Like
been
right
told.
now.
You should
what about Safety of Acid?
You should
Safety
play
who?
God of Warfare 2 now.
Safety
God
of
of
Acid.
Warfare?
Yeah, God of Warfare 2.
I've
God of
never.
Garden
Warfare.
Warfare. I thought you said God of Warfare.
No.
Like God of War?
Grandma
Yeah,
Warfare.
that's a spin-off.
I love Grandma Warfare.
God of Warfare is the official God of War.
Yeah,
Garden
what's
Warfare
the
collab.
it's
Like when they put
Garden of
Kratos in Mortal Kombat.
They give him
Yeah,
a gun.
Wait, no, what's the name of the kid in God of War?
Boy.
Boy.
Atreus.
No, the kid that like accompanies Kratos all the time. What's his
Yeah,
name?
boy.
Atreus.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a name?
No, his name
No,
is
he-
Atreus.
Boy.
His name is Atreus.
I like
Call him
how
Boy, though.
River is trying to say the actual name, and everyone just says "boy, boy" over him.
I thought his name was Percy or something. Is he not?
No, it's
And
Boy.
no, it's not. It's
And
not
then it was,
Percy
and then it was
Jackson.
later revealed that his name is actually Loki. So
No.
Yo, MCU reference.
Oh my
Loki
god, did
only
you
exists.
spoil?
Loki is an.
Did you just spoil God of Warfare?
Yo, Plants versus War.
How old is God of War at this point?
Like
I
more
don't
than
know. It's
10
on the
years,
PS2,
I'm pretty
I
sure.
think. I played God of War 2 on the PlayStation 3. So
Ooh,
probably old.
it's pretty old. I love playing Garden War.
Garden War.
Garden
of
War.
Banban.
I can't believe that.
Garden of Banban. I grow Banban and Jumbo Josh.
I can't believe talking about 10 years
Jumbo
old.
Yosh.
okay, so apparently the original God of War was released in 2005.
Hey, I was born that year.
I was a year older. I was a year older.
I was 4 years old when that game came out.
Wow,
Wow, you're
23.
old.
you were old.
Were you a baby when the towers?
I was.
I literally was. I was.
Wait, you
I
were
was-
born? Were you
I
born
was.
here?
I was.
You were.
You were before or after?
I was born in 2000, so
Okay.
Oh, you were 2000.
Bro.
That's right. I forget it. You're like a grandpa. I mean, grandma.
Man, we're gonna cancel you right now.
You're a grandpa. Oh, sorry, that's too offensive. I'm sorry for saying the
I'm-
wrong thing. You're a grandma.
River, you don't like drive trucks all the time. You make cookies for your grandkids.
I
It would
do.
be a
I'm the
good,
cookie.
like-
I'm the cookie. Fuck me. I can't words right now.
You're the
I'm the cookie.
cookies.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say I'm the cookie grandparent. I'm the one
Yeah,
who gives
you're
you sweets and stuff. I'm also the one who has butterscotch candies in my pockets at all times.
And you smoke 6 packs a
Do they
day.
happen to be butterscotch cinnamon?
I do. They're not butterscotch cinnamon, but I do have butterscotch and I do have cinnamon. If you wish to combine the two, absolutely go for it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
It's kind of like when you I'm trying to think, because there's like a secret menu item for like fast food where you have to assemble the thing yourself. I think it
What,
might
are you
be. I
talking
think it
about?
might
Are you
be.
talking
Some like
about like
Dutch
the?
Bros vibes.
I was when you said that, I was thinking of the Papa Louie's games.
No, I was thinking more of like an actual like thing where you had to order like the mac and cheese and then like the chicken and then the
then you have to
spicy
input the
and then you
command
put it all together and then that's the secret menu item. You just have to do a scavenger hunt through the actual menu to figure it out.
Oh, so that's what butterscotch is. I'm looking at images of it right now.
Oh, I thought
Wait, what?
you have to order multiple things from the menu of fast
Yeah,
food.
you have to,
restaurant.
you have to like chicken and mac and cheese are all parts of butterscotch.
Damn, Grandma's got busy. Grandma got busy making butterscotch.
Grandma got busy. That's why she got 7 kids.
Yeah.
7 kids?
Where does butterscotch come from?
They're not mine.
Butter.
They just showed up at my
I don't think
doorstep.
so.
River, do you
It just showed up at my doorstep.
do you know what a condom is? Do you know when to stop?
I'm not old enough for this. I'm only 23.
You're 23.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
River told me.
No, you're not.
River told me.
No. I said I
Yeah,
thought
you
you
can-
were 23.
You
How
can
did I-
deny it all you want. You
How
said
do
I
you
was
actually-
23.
How do you
I said I
actually-
thought you were
Um,
23. There's a
how
big
do you
difference
No,
there.
I don't remember that part.
River.
Now
how do
you're
you
admitting to it. Before you said you never said it. So now your story's changing. Now no one
Exactly.
trusts
I
you.
did.
Now
I
I'm
had
the right
never
one.
said it. I just said that I thought
Your
you were
story
23.
has changed multiple times. I
Okay,
clearly
River,
won the argument.
River, what made you think that Hailey was 23?
I don't know. Her voice, I guess. It's
How?
How?
She's a middle schooler. What do you mean?
What the
I did
fuck?
not.
Who laughed like that? Amber, was that you?
Yes.
I've never heard Amber just like howl in laughter like that.
I think I've done it like once or twice before, but I
Yeah,
don't
you
ever pay
you did it
attention.
when we were watching River play Danganronpa. I think I said something. It was like funniest shit ever. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember. What did I say?
Was this yesterday?
It was yesterday. Yeah. During the that trial.
Was it the thing that I asked the timestamp?
Oh wait, we were watching the fucking computer generated thing. I think.
Oh yeah,
I was not there for that.
the AI Batman.
Oh my god, that shit was so funny.
Yeah.
It was a joke. I'm the joker, baby.
You drink water, I drink anarchy.
Dodges. I don't know what I
Deflects the
am.
rocket with his silly sense of humor.
Joker hands Batman a gift. Batman opens the gift because he's a nice guy. Inside is a coupon for free parrots, but it is expired. This is a Joker joke. I like the Two-Face part where it's just like Two-Face grabs Alfred and throws him in the air. Alfred lands heads up, which means Two-Face goes home.
Two-Face is a man, but attorney.
Oh my god.
You should link the video for Hailey to see.
Yes.
I have
I-
no idea what we're talking about.
I'm gonna grab it.
Yeah, you
I've been,
grab it.
I've
'cause
been
I-
scrolling through Twitter like this entire time. I don't know what's
You gotta
going
engage in conversation, or else you're not gonna be a very good guest.
on. I am a good guest. Look at my profile picture.
Your profile picture is not the only part of being a guest.
Yeah,
My profile picture has changed like 3-4 times now over the last like 30 minutes or however long we've been recording.
Oh, why Meowth getting sturdy
Okay,
with
you
it?
know, I wanted to. I thought of this earlier and I wanted to mention it. What are your guys' thoughts on the? So I don't know if any of you see it, and I forget the name of the game, but a game came out that was basically just kind of like Cuphead ripoff.
Oh,
That's been there for a while. It's just
Yeah,
people
but
started
it's-
making
it-
more
it-
stuff out
Enchanted
of it.
Portals.
Yeah, Enchanted
Enchanted
Portals.
Enchanted Portals.
What are your guys' thoughts on that game?
Fire.
It
It'll better than Cuphead ever will be.
Wait, hold on.
I just linked the video, but I was looking at the gameplay and I don't know. I like Cuphead more. Probably because one, they did it first and they did it really well. But I will say that like the set pieces for the boss fights look really pretty, and like the animations, like there's obviously a lot of work and a lot of like there's a lot of labor that went into this
What you're
game.
talking about.
for Enchanted Portals. But I feel like the concept, it's a little bit too. It's too much of like the same aesthetic of
Mm-hmm.
Cuphead, and like of those like because obviously you can be those like you
Rubber
can
hose.
obviously like take inspiration from those like older cartoons with
Yeah.
the cartoon eyes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's what
rubber
Cuphead
hose
did.
style.
You can always do that, but I just feel that they took a lot more inspiration from Cuphead instead of from those cartoons from back then. If that
Mm-hmm.
makes any sense.
Yeah, I get that. I think because I remember seeing someone say something on Twitter where it was like Cuphead basically set the bar like ridiculously high for games of that style to the point where it's like basically impossible for anything to get to that same
No, they
point.
did not. No,
No,
they
like
did not.
like in terms of like pure maybe not gameplay but art style for sure because that's all hand drawn and in order for any other game to match that same level of artistic emulation that's a lot of work to put in because
See, I feel like if you do it right, you could absolutely do it on a computer and still achieve the same effect.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So like saying that is kind of dumb, but
I don't think I don't think I fully disagree with it though because there's definitely a lot I think there's a thing with doing it hand drawn that makes there's something about looking at from what I've seen of Enchanted Portal screenshots and stuff like that. They're definitely like thinking about how Cuphead looks and thinking about how Enchanted Portals look. They're definitely it feels something very
Mm-hmm.
more artificial, so to say, more digital maybe about how Enchanted Portals look, and maybe it's just that they took maybe less care or anything to or something to get to like pinpoint the style to a really not to a really fine degree like Cuphead did, but it definitely doesn't feel as accurate or as good as Cuphead. Or maybe there's a lack of a, and maybe there's no grainy filter that kind of influence it a bit, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
anywho,
Uh-huh.
I'm kidding. Yeah, I definitely think that as well. Because like, I did see like a video review about it, and like they say a good point that it still looks a little bit off. Because like, it's like the problem is that it's clearly looking at Cuphead, like Soul said, for like doing anything, but they can't exactly do it. So it end up with like a style that looks digital but it's trying to look like Cuphead. So it's like trying to take itself seriously, but it's not exactly working. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like Enchanted Portals would 100% work if they tried something different than just trying to like imitate the Cuphead style. I feel like so like I don't know. I guess imagine
Mm-hmm.
like a Gravity Falls looking art style. I feel like that would fit it. So that could be like both digital and like its own thing, but still take away a little bit of the. Just think of the idea like from just take a bit from Cuphead and like
Mm-hmm.
gameplay ideas and such.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I think like it's fine to make a game with the idea of Cuphead. Obviously, if it's like a one-to-one thing, it's a little cheap. But if you kind of take the idea of the gameplay of Cuphead and put it in your own
Mm-hmm.
way, like I don't know. I feel like it's hard to like for some at least for some games it's hard to be in a position of this game is just like X game is just Y game but with like a different coat of paint because like in some cases I feel like with certain games you have the
Mhm.
mechanics that are just too integral to the game to really change, that to the point where maybe it would be just like almost a completely different game. And then there are some, like, say you have like say like one that allows a lot of different ways is like fighting games, where you can have really fast paced ones, really slow paced ones. They're all still fighting games. But you have a case like Cuphead, it's really hard to change those core mechanics without making like a very wildly different game.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's hard to, at what point can I go to where it doesn't feel like a rip off, it just kind of feels like an inspiration without completely changing how the game is.
I feel like
Mm.
looking at it that way, as cringe as it is, FNF and DDR are pretty like good examples, because it's like DDR is like its own thing, but FNF borrows from DDR, but it's also its own thing. So you need to take away. I feel like if you're gonna do that, it should be like you take away one aspect specifically from like a video game or something, and then change up most of it so that aspect's still there, but it's still your own thing that you're trying to present.
FNF is more like OSU than it is DDR.
I
They
mean,
literally play the exact same.
I mean, they're both like arrows scroll up, hit in time with arrows kind of
Yeah.
concept. Or arrows scroll down, or whatever you want to set it to. It's basically the same. It's the same core concept for all three.
Okay, hold on. So I had to tune out for a second because I was answering something for my grandmother and came back to arrow scroll up. My brain went to Friday Night Funkin'. What are we talking about?
We are talking about Friday Night Funkin', actually.
Yeah, we're
So
talking
here,
about that.
let me catch you up. So I brought up the point because we were talking about Enchanted Portals. You know, that Cuphead ripoff game.
I have never heard of that, but all right.
It's
Oh
like a
my God.
Very heavily Cuphead inspired game. We were talking about it for a bit, and I kind of made a lot of people consider it a Cuphead ripoff, and I made the point of I made the thought of like, oh, there's like certain games where it's really hard to get to like change the like take the kind of idea or genre from a game and change it enough so that it doesn't feel like a ripoff.
Mhm.
And like with Cuphead, it's really hard to change those core mechanics to keep that same style of game as an inspiration, but also not change it enough to make it so wildly different that it's basically a different game. And Jem brought up how that's kind of done with FNF and DDR, where you have that core concept of the rhythm game, but they're done in very, very different ways.
Mhm.
Mhm. Huh.
I think this
But how did that lead
interesting.
into F and F exactly?
Well, I
FNF
just said we
I'm
were
gonna make
comparing FNF and DDR.
Oh,
Well, I'm gonna make one. I'm gonna do it. Dance Dance
That
Revolution.
dumbhead.
Yeah.
revolution, overthrow the government. I think so.
Speaking of overthrowing the government, oh my God, have you guys
No.
seen Hamilton? The best thing ever.
No.
Obsessed
I-
with Hamilton.
I learned
right now.
about
Hamilton the musical.
I learned,
yeah.
you know,
Hamilton the
funnily
musical,
enough,
yes.
funnily
Yeah.
enough, you mentioned Hamilton. I learned about the it was the what's it called? It was related to Alexander Hamilton, not the play, but the actual person. It was like the I have to look up what it was called.
Yeah.
What is it about?
Okay, it was called
take A first, I'm pretty sure.
it's called the Reynolds pamphlet.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, so basically, his wife, I think she went to like London or something, and while he
Mhm.
was still in America, he didn't go because or wait, I don't know where she went actually, but they were supposed to all go together. But he
Right.
stayed behind because he's part of the government, and then he was feeling real lonely, so he had sex with this girl. Her name was Mariah Reynolds,
Carol?
and then
Fair.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. But they're
So
cool.
yeah, they had really hot steamy sex, and then what's his name? I think his name was like James Reynolds. he like
Mhm.
emails Hamilton and he's like, "Yo,
Emails?
so yeah. He's like, yo, so I see you been sticking your thingy inside my wife. Is it okay if I watch? I won't tell anyone if you
No
pay me
way.
$50 every month." And then
You see that
Hamilton
What
within my
doesn't
wife.
want anyone to find out. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember what he said exactly. But yeah, so he's like, pay me $50, I don't tell anyone. And then
Yeah.
Hamilton's like, oh, okay, yeah. And then later, what is it? I think every part of the government thinks he's embezzling, because he's part of the treasury. So everyone thinks he's embezzling like the government. But
Mhm.
then before anyone can be like, oh, Hamilton, we need to get rid of him. He's an immigrant and he's taking our money. He releases the Reynolds pamphlet so he can be so honest that nothing bad can happen to him. But like he still cheated on his wife. So
Right.
it kind
Yeah.
of still ruined his chances of ever becoming like a president. That's what he wanted.
Yeah. And the thing is that like in regards to the actual like play Hamilton, I do remember watching it in my AP Lit class for my final year of high school. I don't remember much other than like the opening like musical number between, I believe it was the founding fathers. And I just I'm trying to think. I would like to rewatch Hamilton again because it's something that in the creative world a lot of people know about. Like musicians, artists, animators, writers and like all sorts of people who
I don't.
do all sorts of things. Yeah, I know, but it's not
Yeah,
everybody, but it's a lot of people who know about Hamilton because
Me.
it's such a fine art, yeah. And I would like to experience that with my full attention. Because in class, I'm just kind of like dead. Because it's like midway through the day before lunch, I'm just thinking, man, I'm gonna go talk to my friends. We're gonna walk around, and that's it. Hell
You know
yeah.
what's also fire about Hamilton?
Mm-hmm. Do tell.
Without Hamilton musical,
Mm-hmm.
Miku Binder would never have been as cool.
Miku. What does Miku have?
Yeah, have
Oh,
you never
the-
seen Miku Binder
I
with
know
Thomas
exactly what
Jefferson?
you're talking.
No.
Yeah. Well, there's the profile picture for it.
Oh, that guy. Oh,
Yeah, it's Thomas
no,
Jefferson.
yeah.
It's his actor.
You know
Okay, I
what's
was
fu-
gonna say. I was gonna say. I've
this is
never
real
watched
actor.
Hamilton. I've never watched Hamilton. I've only heard of it. I've heard people like say word by word the songs that are in it. But the only thing I know, the only like thing I very like super know about Hamilton, is that one like person that drew a bunch of a bunch of the founding fathers as like twinks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
Thomas
that's the only
Jefferson,
thing I know.
Hamilton,
Yeah.
John Lawrence, and Philip Hamilton.
You know, you want to know what the funny thing was when I first heard about Miku Binder?
Mhm.
It was like when I was like maybe like 12 or 13. So I didn't know what a binder was in the context of like a trans guy. So I just thought what they had like a Hatsune Miku like folder.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I was thinking Miku, like her face just plastered on a binder.
Yeah,
That is
yeah, like a
great.
school binder, but Hatsune Miku branded. That's-
I have to go do a thing. I will be right back.
Wait, so what is a binder then?
It's so for trans men, a binder
Mhm.
is like a sort of bra that keeps your breasts from growing. And that's like kind of basically what it is. So it's for trans men, so that they don't have a big chest, which is the opposite of what they want.
Oh, okay. I thought so. It's like, oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. It's like that's like what if you put like a bunch of bandages around your chest and then just start squeezing your chest until there's nothing.
You're juicing
you
it
could-
like
I
like
mean,
an udder.
that would
what?
probably be painful because binders,
No.
from what I've heard, even like if you put on a binder before your breasts start to develop, it can be depending on the binder, it can still be painful. You have to get like a binder that fits you and is comfortable for you, for it to not be like actually painful. And
That must hurt.
it can hurt.
That's-
You gotta get like, and it's harder because you have to find very specialized places that actually make them in the first place, and then there's a wide variety of actual quality that you can get from those places. So kind of a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like
Um,
wait? So what is a bind like? How does it look like? Is it like
It's just what like a sports bra looks like.
like the ones that girls wear to like the gym all the time?
Yeah, they kind of look
Yeah.
like that.
I don't know why I was just picturing like two giant metal plates, and then you just put it in your.
No, no, no,
You
no.
can
It does
start
not look like
watching.
that.
Okay.
mhm.
I mean, it could.
I think that would be even more painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, but think about it.
Also-
Let's say you're in a
also
desert,
that would be like
and
top heavy, quite literally.
yeah, but look, you're training your back first of all, and if you're in a desert, metal is like cold. So
No,
it can
it's
keep you cold
not.
for a while.
No, it's
yeah, but then
not.
it heats
so
up
wrong.
after a while. But like you get that cold metal.
If you're in the desert, it has already heated up from while you were entering the hot climate.
Yeah.
Now let's say you come there in an icebox. Okay, you roll in.
I'm not. This
And
is
then
the
you're
same.
cold.
This is the same kind of argument where my dad would my dad would want to show us how to open cans with a knife, and I'm like, why would we ever need to use this? We could just use a can opener. And he's like, well, if you're trapped on an island in the middle of the ocean and you only have canned foods and a knife, and I'm like, when is that ever going to happen, Dad?
When your plane crashes and you land on an island, and it just so happens that you brought your lucky karambit and a pan of beans.
I don't.
Me when I'm in BFDI or whatever the name of that thing is.
Me when BFDI.
Me,
Mhm.
BDFI.
Okay, Teapot 2 is way better than BFDI.
I don't know
They're
what
made
that
by the
is.
same person, but like it's way better.
I don't care about either of those shows, and I'm never going to watch
No,
them.
but you should care. You should care. Though.
I don't.
You should care.
I
Yeah,
don't.
you know
care.
I'm
the.
never going
You
to.
should
thing.
care.
I'm never.
Yeah.
You
Going to.
should care.
Either.
I care.
You should care though.
I
Literally
love
should
bubbly.
care.
Bubbly.
I don't.
bubbly.
I will never care. And
It's
You should,
stupid
though.
for like
There's-
13 to 14-year-olds.
You're
Yeah.
lame. You're lame. You think Cars 2 is a good movie.
people
You're-
asking me
you're
to watch
validated.
people who
Is
would
it?
ask me to watch BFDI are the same as people who would ask me to watch Bluey. Like
Okay.
Yeah. It's
it's
oh,
the
talking
same
about
kind of.
Bluey, yeah.
It's the
Talking
same
about
energy.
Bluey.
God.
Talking about Bluey, I was driving to school and I thought of like, and I was just thinking about like, I don't know why. I think I saw like a car. I saw a car that had a Bluey sticker, and it was like "Mom and kids passing through" type, like sticker. And I was thinking, it's like, why do people always think that Bluey is like a good show? I mean, like, maybe it is a good show, but I was thinking like
It is.
every
It's way
single
better
time
than
I
like
see,
anything else.
someone's every single time I see someone talk about Bluey, they're always like, this show gives so many good parental tips, and I'm like, maybe that's true. And then they just like try and go and say like it has such a deep philosophy, and everything that the characters
I-
say is very well thought out. And it's like, yeah, I would take it seriously if it didn't look like My Little Pony animation. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it's like.
Okay,
I think it's,
no, you have to keep in mind. Okay, I'm not gonna like say that like Bluey is like the most sophisticated show in the entire world, because it's absolutely not. In the end of the day, it is a kids show that is meant to be both enjoyed by both kids and parents. I have seen episodes of Bluey when I have my cousins over and they watch it, or I go to my cousin's place and they watch it because they're younger than me and stuff like that. And I can definitely say that, like, even not as a parent, I can definitely pick up on some of the like witty lines between like the parents of the show. And I think even my aunt at one point she says that the show is not bad. She definitely enjoys it because not only is she just relaxing with her kid, but it's also like it's not more about the advice that they give, but it's just more about like how like it isn't like like that type of kid humor. It's more like well thought out and like well executed, like simple jokes and scenarios that are easy to understand.
Like Deltarune.
Yeah,
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like that. Except like instead of it being like a story about these kids going into the closet and being brought into this world where there's darkness and light in this like RPG type of style. It's more of less just this calm environment between like the parents and the kids and their dynamics with themselves and their environment around them, which is usually how families are, because not only do they react to themselves, do they react to the environment around them, because that affects everything. And you can say that about a lot of things, but personally, I think Bluey does the whole parent and kid relationship and dynamics pretty well, and it's very enjoyable to both parents, children, and I guess people who like enjoying and indulging in cartoons that are mainly marketed towards younger audiences and parent audiences.
Hmm. Okay. Well then, maybe I should check it out if I have time. Then.
I think for me, if I ever the only case where I would like actively check out shows like that is if I had a kid and the kid watched it, I would have to like have a kid to watch it with.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
I could not like sit down and say, all right, I cracked my knuckles,
Yeah.
gonna watch some Bluey today.
That's exactly what happened to me.
I mean,
Like,
don't have a kid just to watch those shows. That's a horrible reason to have a kid. Great, now I have a kid. I can watch Dora.
I go up to some woman's house, knock on the door, be like, let's have sex. And then 9 months later, I have a child. I'm like, finally, I can watch Bluey now.
And I'm yeah, you're a parent at 19, but you know what? Fuck it. I can watch Bluey.
Finally, I waited my whole life for this moment.
yeah, I was gonna say that's exactly what happened to me, but that was like
you did that exact sequence
No.
of events.
A kid with a random woman and watched Bluey because of it?
No, no,
That's
no.
crazy.
no.
Yo, Bluey got me hooked up.
Bluey, I met my current partner through Bluey.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no.
walked into
I
her
actually
house
watched
as an
Bluey
invader,
sometime
and we hooked
in,
up
one of my
because of
classes.
Bluey.
I was gonna say that back when my cousin, it was my little cousin, she was like, God, like 6 years old or something like that. And when we usually came over to see them, I did sometimes like have to like look at like stay with her so she didn't do anything dumb. So we ended up watching like I think that was like the only few times I ever watched My Little Pony. But I
Okay,
never
so what I got from that is
Mhm.
Jem is trying really hard to make up a story to justify why he watches My Little Pony.
No, I don't. I don't.
Look, if Jem was a My Little Pony fan, I feel like he'd be more vocal about it.
Yeah, sadly, I'm not. You could ask me anything about Cars 2, though.
Sadly, I'm not.
Cars 2, eh? What's your opinion on Cars 2,
I
Jem?
love Cars too.
It's the best,
love
it's the
Mhm.
absolutely best Cars movie ever, and anyone that tells you anything.
You can go to r/debates and put that up and get banned.
Yeah, I
Cars 2
know.
is
because
so
that-
fire though.
Yeah, I know, because they hated Jesus for telling the truth, so.
That's not fucking true.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm gonna keep opening this
No, we're
can
not-
of worms
we're not
right
doing
here,
this,
right
we're
now.
not doing this.
No,
Wait,
okay,
didn't we
no.
do?
Number one.
Didn't this
Number
happen in the
one.
first episode of this this
Yeah,
podcast?
but
do
now
it
I'm
again.
here and I can back up
Yeah,
Jem on
Yeah,
it.
Maynard literally gets abducted by these fucking spies that are supposed to be like top of the notch, but they're fucking more stupid than fucking Maynard, because Maynard's the one that
top
discovers
of the
bomb.
notch.
Top
Did
of
you
the
just
notch.
combine? Did you just combine?
Why
Top, so
are you
did
trying
you
to pop
just?
your own oil? Why are you trying to do that? You're making millions off of them. Why are you trying to pop your own shit?
So I need to.
Why?
Did you just combine top
What happened to
notch?
the fucking magenta bitch and caused the...
fuck up. So did you combine top notch and top of the morning to get top of the notch?
Oh, that's a word.
No. What did
So
you
let's say
say
you're a
to
spy
me?
though, and someone has like the thing you're looking for. How would you be able to tell that they're not the person if they have the very specific item that only you know exists? Because that's how it
Mhm.
happens. He has like the little tracking thingy with the little like child porn images on it, and then they find him through that, and that's why they think he's like, wee, yeah.
That
Mhm.
was a
Well,
immaculate explanation.
well,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, well,
Let's say
uh-huh.
I have a really cool pencil that I
Yeah,
made that
yeah.
has like little cool whatever like penises drawings on it. Okay. I am looking for that pencil. And suddenly when Barack Obama walks into school that morning, he has the pencil in his hand. And since I can't find it, I would assume he stole it because it's literally the pencil that I made.
Mhm.
So I would assume Barack Obama stole the pencil from me. Now that's basically the first act of Cars 2,
Mhm.
but with cars racing and a little metal thingy.
Well,
Now that's why Cars 2 is the greatest movie ever made.
look, look, you can do all the pizzazzy shit with cars, with your Cars 2 pencil all you want. Do all that shit and like make it really bedazzling and all of that. It won't make sense. There isn't necessarily meaning to it, but you know, it looks pretty. I'll give it that. And it looks really nice. And you know what? If it has a little speaker on it, it's like that toothbrush that plays fucking jams when you're brushing your teeth. Like I get it. Like the music is fucking banger, and the fucking like the explosions and all that are cool. But you cannot fault me. You can't tell me that it's a horrible fucking sequel because
But it makes sense
it
and has a
doesn't
coherent
even
story.
because the story just gets thrown away in the third movie, which actually correlates with the first movie. Like what? Like okay,
I
maybe
mean,
like
it's
Lightning
not like
McQueen is
they
a more
told you that
prominent
Cars 2 didn't happen.
like Lightning McQueen is a more prominent racer in Cars 2. But like you gotta keep in mind, like Lightning McQueen it became more courteous at the end of Cars 1. So in Cars 3, like the whole thing with Cars 2, Lightning McQueen's arc or whatever the fuck that he had, it's negligible.
Okay, what if the story is not chronological though?
And,
See?
what do you
Mhm.
mean? So Lightning McQueen fucking retires. Okay, so let me get this
What if
straight.
he felt like
If
going
it's
out again? You don't know that.
if it's chronological, and you're trying to tell me that the third comes before the second, does that mean Lightning McQueen fucking retires and then goes back
Okay.
to racing in the second? Is he Tom Brady?
Wrapping back to Hamilton. In Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson steps down from the presidential cabinet to run for president. What if Lightning McQueen stepped down? Get out of my room. Okay. What if Lightning
Yeah.
McQueen?
That's me when I'm yelling at my Cars 2 DVD, which
Why do you
is
have a
in the
Cars 2
garage.
DVD if you hate it?
Because I have both
I have a
Cars
Cars
and
2
Cars
DVD.
2 movies inside of the like a really big like thick black like DVD holder that has like 50 slips on like both sides. It's like 100 slips of like DVDs, which includes all sorts of movies that are very iconic, like Shrek, the which unfortunately also includes Cars 2.
Hold on, my
I
mom
would
is
honestly
calling
tell
me.
my parents back then if I knew it was a bad movie to refund your money, get your money back while you can, before inflation fucks you over. But inflation has already taken its place, and now everything's gone to shit.
So you're
Nuh-uh. It hasn't because you have a Cars 2 DVD that you can watch and get infinite peak cinema. So you're good. Don't
they
worry.
have a lemon party joke in that movie, don't they?
Um, I don't know because nothing in Cars 2 gets saved to go to Cars 3.
Well, that
It,
am I
it,
okay? Hang on, wait. Hey, let me get this straight. I ask if there is a particular thing in the movie, and then you say no because it's all abandoned in Cars 3. Like like that changes what happens in Cars 2.
Look, all I'm saying is aside from the admittedly cool visuals and the music, like even the animation of the cars isn't all that lively. Maybe all like the gadget shit, but it's not as different as like Cars 1. And honestly, Cars 1 does it better with the expressions. Considering that Lightning McQueen is a really fun character. And I know, flawed character, but a fun character, irregardless. But just like
Brother's just a
I don't
hater.
understand. If
Brother's
Cars
just a
2
hater.
exists, what happened to the fucking I don't get it.
Here,
How
I'll
do you
tell
get a girlfriend in the second movie and then never see her in the third movie,
Here,
which
I'll tell you
expanded
what it
over
is.
a lot of time?
I'll tell you what it is. It's the fact that Cars 3 was never supposed to happen, and it was supposed to end at Cars 2. That's what the reason. And the reason why Cars 3 exists is because they probably wanted to keep on going and just milk it out of what they had. And they wanted to leave it at Cars 2, and if they did leave it at Cars 2, it would have been the most peak thing ever.
So how much of your complaints would be null if Cars 3 never came out?
Honestly, because the thing is that like it's a okay. You got to keep in mind.
Bathroom break too.
You got
but I'm
you got to
back.
keep in mind that Cars 1, 2, and 3 are supposed to follow in the same time, the same
Guys are still
timeline.
talking
Okay,
about
hey.
cars.
Yes.
If Cars
Hang on.
3 doesn't
Okay, hold
if
on,
Cars 3 doesn't exist, then all it is just like a clunky story. Because
so
the
Okay,
problems
hang
inside
on.
of it,
So
aside
different.
aside from the inconsistencies with Cars 3, is like, why is the Jeep trying to blow up his own fucking oil company?
So
I don't get it.
Guys, okay, hold on. I
Because
just
you
got back,
wasn't
and I'm
what-
trying to make sense of why we're in the middle of a Cars discussion.
Because okay,
Soul
this guy,
doesn't know how
No,
this
no,
guy,
no, no, no. Soul,
This
buddy,
came-
I love you. I
this
don't
came
care.
from-
Look,
This came
no,
from-
this
so this
this
came-
guy is like, I hate this one oil company. It's unreliable. I'm gonna make my own company. Just kidding. I'm a oil-
again? I swear to God.
Dad!
Okay, so let me explain to River. So River, what happened? I'm sure that me talking in the microphone is going to be great for people listening to the podcast. But I will have to say this started because we were talking. We mentioned something about like watching. Watching. We started on Bluey. We like how like we wouldn't watch Bluey unless like you know people say Bluey's good, but we wouldn't watch it unless someone else was watching it. And then Jim mentioned Cars 2, and it spiraled from there.
And how long has this Cars discussion been going on for?
I want
A
to say
good day, because some dumb fucks think that the second movie is a coherent movie with the franchise when it isn't.
I have my I have my question. So you say that Cars 2 is a bad movie for various reasons. You also don't
Yes.
like and this is compounded with the fact that Cars 2 is never really brought up in Cars 3. None of the plot points
Yes,
are
it's completely
really determined.
left in the. It's completely left in the junkyard.
My question for you is the non-continuation or elaboration on any of Cars 2 plot points, is that a fault of Cars 2 or Cars 3?
I feel like okay. Now here's the thing. I think that would definitely be in fault of like. That would definitely be in fault of Cars 3. And that is a criticism that I have with it, is that there's no expansion of that. But the plot in Cars 2 is just so incredibly like, it's wacky and it's fucking stupid and it's extremely dumb. It's like the first, like, you gotta think about, like, in the first movie, it's this cocky, arrogant fucking racer who ends up stranded inside of basically the middle of nowhere in Radiator Springs, and during this time, you know, trains with Doc Hudson and becomes more humble through, you know, through talking with a pro that fucking got totaled because Doc Hudson was legendary, and to, you know, hear him talk about, you know, focusing more and like having a more graceful way to like drive it, even like do that fucking drift that goes through the cactus. It regard like in the first movie, you know, Doc Hudson does that fucking turn where he dodges all those cacti. And then when Lightning McQueen does it, when he's trying to beat Doc Hudson for the first time, he runs straight into the cactus and needs all those fucking like all those pricks to get pulled out, and also needs to get towed out of the fucking cactus in general. Like through that movie, he learns to be a more humble and a more open-minded racer. And the second movie, there's no racer development at all. It's about this stupid spy thing. Like, what is he supposed to learn about racing? Oh, don't use this guy's gas because he could blow me up.
You can't even say that because you literally see him like apply what he learned in the first movie in the races that he participates in. Specifically, I think it was the one in like I don't remember if it was Italy or Tokyo. You can literally see him do the Duck Hudson like drift across some dirt
Tokyo.
to like gain a
Duck Hudson.
bit of advantage in a race.
Yeah,
So like he did learn. I just
well, yeah, but why? But there was nothing to learn from the second movie.
Hang on,
That was shit he learned in the first movie.
Okay,
There was that was
refresh
the development.
Soul, can you refresh my memory?
Yes.
Is the second movie even about Lightning McQueen as a
It-
focus,
it-
or is it more
No,
about
it's
Mater?
focused more around Mater.
Yeah,
it's
so
more
why does
about
so hang on?
Mater.
Why does the if it's more about Mater, then why does Lightning McQueen's development matter so much?
Because Soul's dumb and doesn't know how the story works.
Nah.
Well, hey, someone said it.
That's like me trying to like complain about how let me think of an example. That's like me complaining about how in Hamilton
Mhm.
I don't think enough of us know the plot line of Hamilton to really understand your metaphor.
oh
I do.
I don't.
Yeah, see? She knows. Okay, but in Hamilton, that's like me complaining about like John Lauren didn't get enough screen time. The guy like spoiler alert dies. So like why would I care? He doesn't have any
Spoiler
impact
alert
on the
for
story after
for
that.
something that happened in the like 18th century.
The musical, you don't know it's
Mhm.
important in the musical because Hamilton becomes like a little soy boy because I'm pretty sure that happens right before Jefferson, so he's already like
I didn't know he turned into an Animal Crossing character.
Yeah. Speaking of Hamilton,
Yeah. Sorry.
hold on, my mom texted me. It's the Polish
Look.
one, not my real one.
Look. The one thing I will praise Cars 2 for is its soundtrack.
I like how you
is-
say praise almost like you didn't want to say it.
Yeah, but
One thing I
it's- okay.
praise it for.
Look, because even though the plot and the general direction of Cars 2 is dog shit. Okay.
No.
And the thing is, okay. No. Okay,
I'm gonna,
just-
you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead.
Just a quick
listen,
counterpoint.
guys, listen. I'm just gonna go ahead and mute myself when this dipstick stops talking about cars.
No,
let me know.
this is part of your
No.
contract as part of the
Okay.
part of
I can't. My brain physically cannot handle anything cars related. I cannot deal with this right now.
You have
Then I'll
to.
take your
You're
spot in the
you're
podcast. I'll be
contractually
the permanent
obligated
member.
in the
Okay,
podcast.
okay.
I have nothing to say regarding
just know-
cars or its lore / music. The only reason that I would even participate, the only reason I would even consider participating in this sort of topic or discussion is because of Soul. And Soul is my friend. And, like, I love him. I love him a lot. But he does this so much that it's overwhelming, really.
Wait, hang. So, how much do you?
Yeah.
How often is this a thing that happens? Because
Do you not? He does
It's
this.
never-
Always
He does it.
talk about
very
This has
frequent.
happened like maybe 3 times with me.
Okay, with you, but
Three
like
is enough.
between me
Right.
and Jem, this has happened at least twice a month. Like
Jem,
2 or
Jem,
3
can
times a
you
month.
confirm?
Huh?
Can you
Over here.
confirm
Okay.
River's statement that Soul goes on Cars 2 rants like twice a month?
Oh no, yeah. Like we actively engage in this
No,
particular.
you
argument.
actively engage in
No,
this.
yeah,
I just happen to be a subset of this whole.
That's why I'm.
Okay,
Yeah,
wait,
I'm saying I'm saying
get you an enemy
No.
that hates you as much as Soul hates cars too. Like, for real.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, all I'm gonna say, music is good, and I have a counter question to Amber's earlier question about would it be the fall of Cars 2 and Cars 3? How would you integrate Cars 2 into Cars 3?
I don't know. I'm not a writer.
Exactly. So
What do you mean exactly? What does that prove?
my point proven.
What is that? How would you go about writing this? I'm not a writer.
Literally,
I'm right.
just like the easiest way to fix it. The easiest way to fix it is just have Violet woman, I forgot her name, and Finn McMissile show up
Turning
as like
violet, Violet.
Yeah, no, she has like a different like Ramona, or I don't remember what her name is. It's
No,
something
Ramona. You're thinking of Ramon, from the purple guy who
I
had like
thought you were-
the.
I thought you were gonna say
the-
the Locho. Never mind.
I'm, I think we can. I think we can all agree that movies are good and you watch good ones.
Yeah,
I think we
Yeah,
can
like
all agree
Scary
that
Movie.
Hamilton is a really
Scary
good
Movie?
Yeah, you guys.
Yes,
you
it's
guys-
the best scary movie franchise
I've
ever.
never
you guys-
seen
Scary movie sucks.
You guys ready for
I love
five,
it.
five,
It's
the,
so funny.
the Five Nights at Freddy's
No.
movie?
I also like
Really.
Airplane. I
You
also like
guys
Airplane.
need to
Not the
watch
second
those
one.
movies.
Not the second one with Logan Paul. The first one. I like the first Airplane. That one was really funny.
I don't know that one. You guys should watch
I-
good movies. You know, good movies like Turbo
Like
and
Hamilton.
Shark Tank.
Turbo! I love Turbo. I think I think of that thing.
Mhm.
The
You know,
little snail guy.
I honestly, I can't remember the last time I actually watched a movie because like
I haven't watched a movie in ages.
Yeah, I haven't because like the last time I think was like some time with my family where I didn't really care about the movie anyway. My sister is like a massive like Pixar
Oh.
geek. She, huh?
Oh, I just remember the last movie I watched.
Lay it down on us.
I think like a couple of days ago, actually, I sat down and watched Elemental.
Mhm.
Oh, Elemental was so ass.
Elemental was all right. I want to say
It
I
it
think-
looked good, but
actually, I
like the
think the
story was
last-
so bad.
I think the last
Yeah.
movie I think the last movie I watched was actually Across the Spider-Verse.
oh, well, that's a banger movie. though.
Okay, it's
Yeah,
funny
that's
that
a
we're
banger
talking.
movie.
It's funny that we're talking about
From what I heard.
movies. I went back on Netflix and I found a bunch of old movies from my childhood. Specifically, I rewatched Astro Boy recently.
Oh, banger! Oh my god, that's a banger. That's a really good one.
I don't think I've watched that one. I heard the name and don't recognize it.
I remember. I don't remember. I remember like a little bit of Astro Boy, but I do remember I liked it when I was a kid.
What about Meet the Robinsons?
That's a banger one. That's a
I-
banger.
I
one.
watched-
Oh, Meet the Robinsons, yes.
That's one I've actually watched.
I like that
That was
movie.
I like that.
I remember seeing a video before I ever watched Meet the Robinsons. It was like a video rating like Disney twist villains, and they put the Robinsons at the bottom of the list. And when I watched the movie, it was like, how is this a twist
yeah.
villain at all? Like, why is this on the list? This isn't really much of a twist villain.
Because he's like that little
Like
little
it's
guy.
it's
That
like
little
yeah,
fella.
it's spoilers for anyone watching of Meet the Robinsons. How old is that movie? Old enough that I don't really care too much about spoilers.
Yeah,
But
you're good.
because like the whole point is that the hat is actually the mastermind behind all of it. And
Yeah.
but like that's barely like it's kind of you can kind of pick up on that extremely easily because the hat is just kind of like bossing him around for a lot of where you can actually see the hat being sentient.
Mhm.
It's not much of a twist, and I don't know why they considered it a twist villain in that video. That's my mini rant.
I've
Yeah.
watched that movie 4 times and I don't remember the plot to it at all. I can't name a single character.
Doob.
Isn't it
Mhm.
That
Goob?
doesn't help me.
That's the kid.
Isn't it
this
Goob
one.
or something?
Look
Yeah,
at
kid's name is Goob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this one right here.
Ah, a wonderful image. Who dropped a brick on my cock?
Yeah, that kid. Doob.
I think
That's his name?
my favorite thing with him is like the everyone like inviting him to do things, and he's like, they all hated me.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to come over for a sleepover? They all hated me.
That was definitely a pretty good movie. I yeah, I was talking about my sister, big Pixar fan. So of course we have like every Pixar movie under the sun. Um and I've correspondingly seen every Pixar movie under the sun. Um
Uh-huh.
and well, at least most of them. Uh
Yeah.
and the and you know people there's like a lot of people saying like, oh, Pixar's getting worse nowadays or something. I
Mhm.
think, I think like I can kind of see where they're coming from, but also at the same time, I feel like it's like, man, you're kind of being really overly overly like pessimistic about a lot of the movies, overly critical, and it's like I just don't see a lot of like people said, Soul the movie, not the person, sucked, or was like not very good, and I'm like, no, this is pretty good. I don't see what
I
you're talking about.
I watched it and I want to talk about Soul actually because I really like that movie for like uh here's what I think. All the stuff that has to do with the real world, even like the body switching like stuff, I really liked it. Um, and then when it comes to like the what was the afterlife called in there?
I don't remember.
Um,
Just call it the afterlife.
the afterlife. Or the great beyond. I think is what it's
Ah,
called. So the great beyond stuff. It's not bad. I didn't like it at first, but I think it eventually kind of grew onto me until like the conflict of the movie that is like the emotionalist piece. Because don't get me wrong, I think I liked it how it was dealt with in the real world, but then when they transitioned back to like the great beyond, it didn't tickle me the right way.
mm,
Um, but
Well, you should.
aside from some parts of like the great beyond that kind of tickled me in the wrong area. I think generally
Oh,
Soul is a very beautiful movie. And as a musician who took a jazz class and who loves music and has a passion for it, I think I have a very big soft spot for it. And I can say that this movie is definitely one of my favorites from Pixar.
yeah, I definitely enjoyed the movie. I think, you know, you mentioned like the conflict, and that reminded me. God, there's something about the like I know it's hero's journey shit, but I it always feels the like conflict point where the two main characters like have some sort of argument, they break up.
Oh
There is
yeah,
never a point. There has been rare a movie where it doesn't feel awkward or cheesy.
yeah.
Elemental has to be like the worst movie
The
for
what?
that. It
The
would
what
so
move? What
force.
movie?
Elemental.
Elemental.
Oh,
Uh,
Elemental. I did not. I didn't see it.
Wait, let
I
me remember. Let me remember
yeah,
since I just like watched Elemental. I'm pretty sure like God,
there's I'm
it
pretty sure
was
there's elements.
like they get mad because
Mhm.
it's like for some
Wait,
reason like her I think their name is like Ember I think
Ember.
yeah
Oh my
Ember
God, me?
yeah it's you but with an E so
It's
uh
me, but plastered onto that Markiplier meme.
yeah um
Ember.
so Ember like Ember and Wade, that's the name. So Ember and
yeah.
Wade have been like going out and like they're starting to get real buddy buddy. But like for some reason, halfway through the movie, like the whole entire movie is her like trying to get away from her parents to see this guy and like grow out of like their what she thinks of what her parents want for her. So like she like they don't want her to fall in love with a water dude. They want to fall in love with another fire guy. So for like the entire movie, she's growing out of it, but for some reason, in the halfway point, she just goes and like completely backs from what she's been thinking this entire time. It's like, well, that's kind of dumb. It's like the entire reason just to fill out the entire like hero's journey type plot.
Usually, I feel like when it comes to like a movie that's animated about the diversity that is between elements or inanimate objects and such like that, there's usually some sort of like racial complex with it.
Zootopia.
Okay, now we're bringing
I love racism.
And the thing is that it's
Change
not
my
a bad
profile
way to
picture
go
to
about
honor.
What?
What are you laughing about?
Look at Hailey's profile picture.
Wait, don't look at that one.
What? Hang, I'm so lost on what is.
Look at Haley's profile picture.
Oh, that's what you were laughing at.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not saying that the racial complex or the racism complex is a bad like trope to go by. I think it is a little overdone. Not to say that racism is a problem that we shouldn't shed light on, as it is a constant thing that we need to talk about. I just think that for how badly it can be executed with big theatrical films like these, because from what I heard, like the whole message of like racism and like the divide between different groups of people was handled rather poorly for Elementals. I feel like because of how badly the trope, how badly that that theme is is executed in the more recent of times, it has become I don't know how to say it. I think it's just it's becoming less. It's becoming less about the less about thinking about the actual problem of racism, and then and more than it is like the more and more people getting bored of movies talking about racism because of how like poorly it is executed. Not to say that that happens all the time with new releases and stuff with like movies and shows and things like that. It's just like things like Elemental that aren't necessarily the most accurate depictions to do that. And like you said before, like Zootopia, for example, as well.
Zootopia was really bad at that.
Zootopia also, I think it was not very good at it, and also like the furries were way too distracted by the anthropomorphic animals to really get that message out of it. Dude, have you ever heard of the Zootopia abortion comic?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Oh no!
I haven't read it.
For hype. I'm not hyping it.
I haven't read it.
I haven't read it,
No,
but
I
I've
haven't.
seen panels.
I've
Specifically the
I've
I
one
haven't
where
seen
like
panels.
that one panel where like Judy Hopps is like slapping Nick.
oh yeah,
Or, I don't know how the other
where
way
she
goes.
Nick says something and he's like turned toward the camera and then she slaps him. That comes from that comic. I also found out like in like a post, I saw a post recently where they pointed out that the house that they live in is is like Jerry Seinfeld's house in Seinfeld or something. or one of the characters in Seinfeld's house. It's like a direct 1-to-1.
Adam Sandler's Fortnite.
What?
Sorry, I
God.
just
Low key, I agree though.
But-
Is the house that Seinfeld
Like
lives in.
back to actually Zootopia. Yeah, it was kind of weird in its portrayal of like a racism allegory. Like even it was pretty. You look at it at some ways, and it was pretty blatant. Like the 10-90 split for predators and prey.
Yeah, even so, like it was such a weird, like it even had like weird points that it was like trying to tackle, but it didn't like specifically. Like I'm specifically referring to like the nudist scene. Like that was a
Oh, you mean the
weird.
best part of the movie?
Why
was
did
a
they include
weird-
it?
I don't know. I don't know why.
They were like the people that were making that movie were just like they were like oddly horny, and they were like,
Yeah.
well,
Also,
if we
like-
make them animals, then we don't have to care about them showing a penis.
Yeah. Also, like
They
the
never
weirdest thing was it has to be the ending. It's like
I thought you were gonna say like the weirdest part about that entire scene was Nick like joining in on the fun.
No. Well, it also could be the blatant Godfather ripoff, but
You come into my house and not bring me any cheese.
yeah. Also, the twist villain was like absolutely horrible. Like, God, why did it have to be? Oh, like it didn't even feel like she was supposed to be the villain. It felt like she was like written like into like the late like process of making the movie, and they were like, God, we don't have anyone who like we can put as a villain. Quick, make it the sheep girl. Just like make up anything at this point. And then,
Was
like,
there
they made
any
her the villain.
foreshadowing for that at all?
Maybe
I don't
there
think so. No.
Yeah, maybe there was, but I didn't pay attention.
Other than the Breaking Bad guys being sheep, I don't think there was.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
right. They had the freaking-
Walter and Jesse.
I forgot about that. They just had Breaking Bad sheep.
Mr. White, yo,
Breaking
gotta make this
for the
blue
low
look,
rate pun
yo.
of Breaking Bad.
Was
That's
that an
so
actual
fire.
thing? Wait, was that an actual thing in the
I don't
movie?
think they put that in the movie. I think that's just like a
Ah.
really. That's
That
just
was fire though.
Jesse, we need to
Hold
make
on,
math.
My bad.
Mr. White, yo.
Mr. White.
I'm slinking crystals.
Say my
Walter.
name.
Put your dick away, Walter.
Finger, not.
We're Breaking Bad.
Does
God,
anyone actually like finish Breaking Bad here?
I've never watched neither Breaking Bad nor Better Call Saul, but it's just like one of those shows where it's like, I don't know, should I watch it? Everyone says it's really good.
I'm pretty sure. No, yeah, Haley, you know my whole deal with.
Yeah, you're still on like episode like -8.
Yeah, I tried to watch it in episode 7. Okay, like full story here. Haley was like pushing me to watch Breaking Bad and another friend from high school. And I began to watch it. I like watched it all the way until episode 7. But the problem is that I was watching I don't remember what anime, but I was like watching some anime at the same time. And I'm like, God, this is just really boring. Because it was like I was like switching from like animation to like specifically like Japanese animation to like live action Western show. So like the contrast felt so bad that I was like, yeah, I'm kind of bored of Breaking Bad, and I quit at episode 7, and I haven't come back. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
if you watch something that's super slow compared to something that's super fast paced, you're probably gonna be like, why am I watching? Why
yeah,
am I watching this?
I like how
If you want to watch a slow movie, watch Turbo. It'll make you
Yeah.
tear your eyes
I
out.
like I like how I just thought about, I feel like there's like this weird thing of like Japanese things are like like games or shows. I feel like they tend to be faster than a lot of
they
things.
kind of do.
Like-
Because a lot of shows are really like, I don't know how to say it, but they're always like structured so we can get the most of what we have of the source to like this small like show. Because like most animes are built on the manga, right? But what they try to do is just cover as much material as they can as possible. So that's why they end up usually having like 12 episodes. And if they can't cover all of the content, well, bump womp.
Yeah, it is kind of like, I didn't really notice that, but now that I'm thinking of it, like, yeah, a lot of Japanese media just tends to go faster in whatever way. Like TV shows tend to go on faster, unless you're talking about Dragon Ball, where one of the 5 jokes that they constantly make is that it takes 3 minutes to do it, 3 episodes to do a single fight scene, or like just generally
It
speaking.
takes 10 episodes to charge and 20 episodes for the fight scene.
Yeah.
It takes the entire season to have an interrogation.
It really does. It really does. The
Wow.
original Dragon Ball anime is like, just for like a simple conversation, it would take, I kid you not, like 10 episodes.
Damn, that was a
Yeah,
long time.
but yeah, like other than the
I
other
go
than, like,
clue.
meme of Dragon Ball, like it's just Japanese things. Japanese shows are faster paced. Even like thinking about, I'm a fighting game player. There's a reason why anime fighters are like a separate subcategory of fighting games, because you play like Street Fighter. That's pretty slow paced. And Street Fighter is very realistic. You have realistic fighters. Yeah, they're just throwing energy balls around, but it's still like they're doing karate moves. They're doing like actual like martial arts. You go to something like Dragon Ball Fighters or Guilty Gear or Blaze Blue or Melty Blood, and you have like really quick, fast-paced, like long combos that like touch of deaths, like and there's a lot going on. It's really fast-paced, and it just Japanese media just really tends to go fast.
Yeah.
Funny anime
Street
character
Fighter
go
is
wee.
I'd say Street Fighter is more anime like.
Oh yeah. By the way, actually, on the topic
Especially
of anime,
after the first game.
on the
Nah.
topic of anime, what's actually no? Yep. Sure. What's your guys' favorite anime? Like the most like boring question I can think of.
THK.
Hey, don't judge me.
Fire.
For, that's like
I know.
one of
I
the.
know yours. I know because you only watched like 2.
That was the only anime that I like fully invested myself into.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Right.
Hey,
Which one?
I don't know why you still like think like I watched it for the big old fucking fat titties. Yes, there's fat titties in that fucking anime.
Wait,
but you know what
wait,
it is?
wait, hang on.
Yeah, what
I
are
did
you
not
talking
hear.
about?
I did not hear the anime you mentioned. What
Food
is
Wars.
this?
Food Wars.
Food
Food
Wars.
I have no
Wars.
idea what that is.
Basically, it's an anime. Okay, basically,
I'm questioning why. Okay, it's an anime called Food Wars, but why is there like a significant amount
Okay,
of
the
big
whole-
titties in there?
Okay, the
to-
whole
look,
okay, the whole joke of the show is that like some character eats really good food and they have like an orgasm. That's
Yeah.
like the entire joke.
yeah, that's the joke. But the food it looks so good.
God, Studio
So let
Ghibli
me-
movies always make food look so good.
No, hold on, this is my moment. I'm so peeved that y'all think I watch it for big anime titties and big anime ass because I legitimately do watch it for the food, or at least I did watch it. I haven't
Yeah,
watched it
yeah,
in a while.
yeah. You
There's
yeah,
like
you watch it for
multiple
the
seasons.
food,
If
and by
you really
food, you
cared
mean
about
the tasty
food, you'd be
anime
watching
girl.
Kitchen Nightmares, buddy.
I do. I
so-
literally
okay.
watch it every time I go and
The
eat.
superior anime.
Exactly. I've watched every single
Okay,
episode.
let's
I
not
literally have to
diverge
watch
ourselves.
like 3 hour long.
Let's not diverge ourselves too much and actually answer the question.
Sorry,
Okay, hang
Gordon
on.
Ramsay's like my favorite
Soul-
anime character.
Listen, Soul basically
Yo.
saying I watch Food Wars for the food is the equivalent of anybody else saying
I watch
I
it for
watch
the plot.
hentai for the plot. Exactly.
It's okay. Well, to be fair to Soul, it doesn't sound like it's actually hentai. It's
No.
just like it's just like
It's
Don't get me
highly
wrong, it's a
suggestive.
lot of
It's
no. Don't get me no.
It's
Don't get me
softcore.
wrong. It's a lot of hypersexual shit. Like I understand that, but I genuinely watch it for the food. There's a really good like plot in like the beginning of the
Look,
series
as someone-
about the main character and his dad because they own a restaurant. You guys should. As much as sexual as it looks and can be with with the food orgasms or whatever, it genuinely is a really nice show that I genuinely love seeing, like all like the food presentations and all that with all the art.
The show ain't wrong. That when that food hit right, it can feel like an orgasm.
Yes, literally. Like there was literally like
Okay,
just-
answer me this.
I want to talk about it, but like, you guys haven't seen it, so
Okay,
I
Yeah,
can
I
talk
have.
about it.
Let me. I want to ask you a question, Saul.
Yes.
Do you? Hang on, I'm eating buffalo wings.
Spit them out.
Slay that,
Do
girl.
you? Do you like? Do you gain any actual cooking knowledge from this show? Like, or
There
is it
actually
strictly
is.
just?
I'm not
Believe it or
joking.
not,
There
with
actually is cooking knowledge put into the show. They
Yes.
had, yeah, I've seen a video that goes on like behind the scenes on this show. There were actual cooks involved in making this like anime, like manga or what, I don't remember, but like they had cooks.
yeah,
So like
they're
their knowledge is like
God,
certified.
Did
they're
they?
legitimately like
Did they animate the
intertwined with real
cabbage to
cooking.
look more like a green ball?
It's like it's
So it's tough to animate.
Look, it's not just fucking big titties, big ass. Like, it's legitimately intertwined with the cooking aspect. And if you think it's only big ass and big titties, I think that you're objectifying women
You're
and men.
just closed-minded.
You're just closed-minded and an
Like, all you
objectifier,
do
and
is
I think you should feel
It's
objectify
bad.
like,
women.
you know that one image of the guy like staring at something, and like the concept of like the message of it is going over his head, and he's just going like, "Wow, big titties" or something.
Yeah, it's just like
So-
that's not all that it is. Why does everybody assume that the things I like are so one-sided when there's so many deeper reasons why I like shit? I don't get it.
Here,
Because you're a simple-minded person, it wouldn't be wrong for somebody to assume, oh, he's on a one-track mind,
Okay.
therefore he goes for
Hang
the
on,
one-track
Do
mind.
I,
Because I like the
do I
interior
go
design
around?
of the
No,
house.
River. Do I go around everywhere and be
To be
like, I
fair-
love titties and
yeah,
ass?
he's
yeah,
not. Soul
yeah.
is not. Soul is
No.
Soul is the kind of person. He laughs at a big ass, not because he enjoys the big ass, not because it's sexual, but because it's hilarious.
Yeah, like
He
have you seen
he sees the gnome in
Have you
Romeo and
seen
Juliet.
Don't bring up Romeo and Juliet.
Look, and you're the weird one for thinking that I'm simply looking at all this media for the sexual
Thinking?
attention, because it is quite literally not that.
Okay,
It
you wanna?
is
I will.
legitimately
I'm
different.
gonna defend Soul because I
Yeah.
you know this. I said this on the podcast. I think I said this on the podcast before. I just said it to you. I watched Kill la Kill as like my first. Like I watched this in middle school, and I didn't care, and I still now would probably not care if I watched it again about the women with like extreme amounts of underboob. I like because the story was genuinely interesting to me. I did not really care about the sexy women or whatever. It was genuinely an interesting story, and I think that's the same thing that I had with that show that Soul has with this show. It's not like I'm watching it because I wanna whip it out to the women on screen. I don't care.
Whip it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Soul whips it out to the
Yeah,
face.
you would.
Yeah, River would. River would do that. River,
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, River is
River has the least
River-
ground. River has the least ground to stand on
River?
in the discussion of
River
you're
is
watching it for the
literally-
booze.
Look, the things that you guys are accusing me of with Food Wars is something that I see River legitimately doing, like, unironically.
Yeah,
And remember, so I would like to tell the podcast that there was a time where I asked River to hang out, and River was playing like some random like.
Oh God.
Wait.
Okay.
Okay,
So, are we having a story time? Do I need to?
yes, you tell the story.
Okay. So, one night I was browsing itch.io for the sake of like I was bored and I wanted a new game to play. It just so happens that on itch you can find NSFW games, and I was like, oh, that seems, like NSFW games on itch doesn't sound like they don't mix to me. It's like I'm not gonna lie. I've spent many a time playing NSFW games. I'm not afraid to admit that. You know what I mean? And more often than not, it's really terrible. More often than not, it's really terrible. Like Unity games. It's just so poorly optimized. Nothing is like made properly.
It's just
The
that, like,
boobs
baby girl.
have
That
12
is all.
polygons.
River has.
I mean-
Beach confirmed.
But then I pulled open this one game. God forbid I remember what the name of it is. And Amber just so happened. No, not that one. That's a good game. And it just so happened that Amber had caught me like during.
Hailey, your profile picture is staring the wrong way.
Who am I looking at?
You're looking
You're looking at
at Gem on my screen. You need to be looking at the other
Okay, then it's
side.
staring the right way. It's staring the right way then.
That's not okay.
Okay,
And
continue.
it just so happened that Amber happened to catch me in the middle of playing this one really terrible Unity game, and
It was really bad. I watched
And
it,
so-
and it like even through River's laggy stream, it looked like shit.
Wait, aren't you?
And
Were
so-
you a minor?
Yeah, there were no like actual sex scenes in the game. It was all
it
just like
really was not. It,
it
was
was
just
like
boring.
it was just like
it was a
highly
3D
suggestive.
like it was a 3D like platforming type game.
Like imagine
And-
a hat in time, but like 3-month development cycle, and the devs are all horny.
Oh, so like I'm gonna guess it was probably like super suggestive, like bikinis and stuff like that, right?
Actually, the main character wasn't even wearing a bikini. They were in like a full outfit. They had like this rope character that made like a shit ton of sexual innuendos. Like, oh yeah, pull on my, pull on me.
Uh,
Become
And it was funny because we were so, and then I told Amber about it. I was like, I'm playing this game, like it's an NSFW game. Are you sure you want to like watch this? Like,
Are you gonna quote me on what I said?
yes, exactly.
All right, do it. I'm
And-
live on podcast. Now Hailey. Now you are aiming your gun at River. I think that's adequate.
Okay.
She
So
doesn't.
now-
know.
Let me get a picture of me actually shooting, because I have pictures of me doing that.
And upon me loading up the stream, Amber had said something hilariously ridiculous, which was something along the lines of, "What do you think I'm going to do? Spray all over the place?"
Well, yeah.
And I don't know why, but Amber saying this knocked me out. It was the funniest thing, like, ever. It was just the funniest joke ever.
Yeah,
And
it was. If I ever see an opportunity where I can be like really off the cuff, I will take it.
that was
Like,
one of
I
those
don't
moments.
even
for
care
sure.
if like I don't even care if it's a thing where I don't even care if it's like a thing where I'm like being as long as the other person I know is going to be fine with me saying something like that, I will
Yeah.
be as unhinged as possible if the situation arises.
And my God, that was one of those moments.
You know, there was a time where I laughed my hardest, and
at
It-
the at
and I
at a
just
particular image.
Don't send it.
of a particular gemstone.
Oh, yeah. I see where this is going.
Look, all I'm gonna
Still don't
say
joke.
is I just need to scroll up and find it. Stop! No! Stop from. Got
Did you scroll up and you saw the other image that makes you
No, I found it.
Yeah,
Get
this
this
one.
joke.
I love.
Wood Diamond from our
Wooden Diamond.
terrible
good
fourth
pals
episode. Or was it
from-
the third? No, it was the third
I think it was
episode.
the third episode, yeah.
It was our third episode, the worst episode we've ever recorded.
I will never forget the day that I showed off that image. Soul lost his mind laughing.
I
And
was
that was-
If
dying
anything,
from wood.
if any redeeming part about that episode, it's that everyone was laughing their asses off at the Monkey Kitchen shit.
The thing is that it wasn't just this emoji that fucking made me die. It was the fact that referred like so like it was she's so like confidently not confidently but like she so seriously said wood diamond.
So I just like leaned into my microphone and I went, "Wooden Diamond," and
Shit
when
myself.
I had like as I was saying that and as I was putting the picture down, Soul was just laughing hysterically.
Oh
and
my
I just-
god. It fucking killed me so badly. I couldn't. I was having a hard time breathing. It was that bad. Where are you, Diamond?
It's always the like most random. I swear, like there are. I feel like a lot of times when someone else is like laughing hysterically at something, I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck? It's like,
Like, that makes sense. I do that too, because like, okay, here's an example. I was like, I think one day I was in a VC in the FFV, and then there was just like some event going on, and then Aku, he was like hosting the event, and then like I think was Freya said something, and then
Mhm.
Aku said like no in a very like funny voice, and like a very dismissive tone, and I just burst out laughing because it was like the funniest thing. Because it was like that's the funniest way to say no to someone I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I still remember in the first episode we did towards the start where we were talking about M&Ms, and then Soul goes like,
Mhm.
I was
Yeah.
made a joke
Because
about
we're-
like, oh no, I've never heard of M&Ms. What are they? And Soul goes like, oh, he's a very prolific rapper. And you like had a second where you were
Oh,
like giggling,
yeah.
and then you processed it, and then you started laughing really hard.
Yeah,
You're like-
that happens too. It's like sometimes I laugh how dumb I am. Like, I was rewatching some of the old podcasts, and one of my favorite moments I've ever had was of like the Fia episode, and you guys were talking about Splatoon. No, you were talking about Splatoon, not Ace Attorney. You're talking about Ace Attorney, and I tuned out for a second because I was looking at Twitter, and then I just said, "Are we talking about Danganronpa or are we talking about Splatoon?" And then everybody was like laughing, and then River was like, "This guy, this
Oh
guy."
no! We were talking about oh fuck! I think we were talking about I forget what we were talking about, but then Jem was like, "Are we talking about Roblox?" And I was like, "This guy."
No, I wasn't saying Roblox. I was like Danganronpa because like someone
Oh,
mentioned something
I
about
remember that.
fictional, and I'm like, oh, that reminds you of Danganronpa, and it
Yeah,
was like,
no,
this
we were talking about
guy.
Splatoon because we were talking about Splatoon with Fia, and then you were like, "Is this Danganronpa?"
Yeah,
This
and I started
dude.
and then I think it was Amber who said, "Oh yeah, we're talking about this," and I just started cackling.
Hey, yeah, no, we're talking about a tragedy.
Actually, this also reminds me, talking about laughter. We're
Mhm.
being I'm being forcefully reminded that that one time that Soul said the wrong word to laughing, and then River made it a sound of board sound effect, which was
Oh god.
before the
You mean this one?
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna explain something. So me and River, we were talking about something, and it led to us talking about candy bars.
Okay.
And I said, and I was
No! I can tell you exactly what it was.
No,
I can tell you
I
exactly
got
what
that
it
wrong.
was.
I got that wrong. Wait, no, I got that wrong. We were not talking about the bar. I was talking. Oh yeah, no, I fully remember now. We were talking about something, and I think I forgot what I said because there was something that
Okay, I can tell you
we were trying to
exactly what it
record
was.
something. We were trying to record something, and
I was making a Friday Night Funkin' one-shot mod
Yeah.
called Versus Meekle, and
Yeah.
Saul was going to be the voice of Meekle, and then I started laughing while like mid-recording, and then he busted up mid-recording, and he was like, "I heard you snicker a little bit," and I took that audio clip of him saying snicker and I chopped it up, and it. And so what I came out with was yeah.
yeah. So
yeah.
I love how there's like
YouTube?
I love how that soundboard
You know-
effect has like an audio cutout at the end. Like you can
Yeah,
I'm not
hear,
sure
like,
what happened there. I thought I made a clear cutout, but
yeah, you can hear like
Yeah,
static.
you
at
can
the end.
easily tell that that's an edited clip, like 100%. There's an S in front of it. Don't let this audio clip be represented by itself. There's supposed to be an S in front of it. I am not a racist. Sometimes. I'm sorry.
Sometimes. He's only racist to Mexicans, and even then, he's Mexican. So
Yeah.
I think my
Soy hombre. Soy
I
hombre.
find it always like interesting and at the same time slightly awkward because it is rare for me to laugh very hard at things. I can and I have, but most of the time, like something funny will happen, and I'll just be like there like,
Mhm.
and everyone else is laughing their asses off, and I'm just like, that's pretty funny, yeah. uh, well, I'm just listening to everyone else laugh.
You have the exact same humor that my friend on high school did. He was like
Mhm.
he's was like super reserved, and he cared about a lot about his grades on high school most of the time. So he really wasn't like very social, but like he did have a friend group with like me and another like two people, and he was pretty much like that. We would have like jokes that would have everybody cackling, and he would like do like small laughs. He did understand the
Mhm.
joke, but I guess his humor really wasn't like he had his own type of humor, I suppose.
Yeah, and like humor is
I th-
another thing in this world that is innately subjective.
I think
Yep.
I think it's not a difference in my humor, but just how I react to that humor. Like I definitely will find similar things funny to you. I'm less affected by the more extremely random like Wood Diamond esque stuff. But but like
Mhm.
I'll definitely find similar things funny. But it's just that I don't really like have the same kind of like, I guess the best word would be like visceral reaction to something where I'm just laughing my ass off at it.
Mhm.
And most of the time it's just I'm the only most of the reason I'm laughing is because someone else is laughing, and so it's like contagious.
Yeah. Um, from what I've been told in both um in like reliving life and also like being on the internet. Um, I have been told that like at a point where I'm laughing so hard, I can induce laughter. Like even if other people don't even if like people don't think that it's like that funny of what I'm laughing about, I can make everybody in the same room as I like just cackle
Oh
and
my
laugh.
god, no, Soul, your laugh is like poisonous, my guy. It's contagious.
It
Like,
it is your laugh is the most contagious laugh that I think of anyone I know.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
yes,
Yeah.
that's what I've been
absolutely.
told. That's what I've been told by like literally all of my IRL friends is that when I start laughing and laughing
Believe
hard
them.
and rolling on the floor, they start laughing too. It's like I spread. It's like I spread a laughing virus like right then
You
and
do,
there.
man. You spread Joker's fucking laughing gas is what you do. Like that laugh right there, especially. Holy shit.
Yeah, like
It's like you have almost like this like goofy villain laugh, but
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, no, he's got like Scooby Doo villain laugh.
Yeah,
yeah.
and the thing is that I have different laughs too. And I've been changing laughs depending on like a lot of things. I've been trying to form my own laughter, and I think I've done that really well in like spreading this contagious fucking like giggle toxin.
you know what?
Um, but I have different laughs that are like based off of other people's laughs because like I don't know, I just like I listen to a laugh, I really like it, and then I start imitating it.
You know what
Okay,
this reminds me of?
okay. I have like a kind of a serious question. Well, not that
Um,
serious because it's about laughs.
yeah.
That's a dumb fucking lead-in. Way to go, River. You know how to segue, you stupid ass motherfucker.
I
Yeah,
I feel like
get trolled.
like genuine question would be the better.
Okay, I guess genuine would be the better word for it. But do you have like Soul? Do you have like a favorite laugh? Like out of I don't know, out of anyone like within the FFB or just any of
Any
your friends?
FFB? I'm trying to think. Uh,
Because I like Jack's laugh a lot. His is also
yeah.
very contagious.
The thing is that
I've
I've
never
talked
loved
to a
Jack's
lot of
laugh.
the FFV members. I think Jem's laugh has to be my favorite.
Mm.
Really?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't
because
heard it for a good while.
because because he giggles like when something is moderately funny, but if something like completely shits his bridges, he loses it, and it's like the funniest laugh
That
that
is
I
true.
It's the funniest laugh that I've heard between like people in the FFV. Outside of that, I'm trying to think because I really like, because don't get me wrong, I really like the laughs that are over the top, but I also like laughs that are just like the from like I'm trying to think, like the older, more like Adam's Apple, bigger, type of like voices that are like deeper and lower. They just have this like really slow, powerful chuckle to them when something's really funny and they're clapping their hands like like that's the type of shit that I
That's
also
the
fuck
villain
with.
laugh.
It's not a
I don't like-
villain. It's
I know,
more
but
like
you say like
it's like
Adam Apple laugh. I think of
it's like a Gen
Markiplier.
X type of it's like a Gen X type of laugh.
Is it Markiplier kind of laugh?
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
was gonna say.
Yeah, like Markiplier.
I was gonna say if I had a laugh, if I had a favorite laugh, Soul, you and Rivers would be like very tied. Because
Yeah.
Wait, my laugh, really?
I
Yeah,
think
you
I
are
honestly
really-
would say that. I honestly would say the same. It especially got really good with Danganronpa yesterday when
Oh,
you
yeah.
turned into like a tea kettle at Mondo Butter.
It was so
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
It was so
Also,
funny.
you know what? For all of you Danganronpa fans, you'll know what that means. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, you already
It's
probably
not a
should, but-
spoiler if you don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
For real.
Yeah.
So for all you Danganronpa fans,
Do not watch the podcast or report it to the police.
you'll know what we mean when you play Animal Crossing. All right, next question. Just kidding.
Yeah. I was gonna say, so you were talking about
Yeah.
how your laugh is super contagious, and I do absolutely agree. Mainly because of this image.
Don't show it. Oh my god.
It was specifically this moment. I remember.
There it is. You
Yeah.
broke him.
I specifically remember because there was a VT session where I showed this. Soul started laughing, and then the Hailey heard Soul's laugh, and they both started laughing like maniacs.
Delete it, please. I beg of you.
No, I'm not gonna.
I
You know what?
I feel like I like there's just some like I have no idea why why this image is the specific combination of things that makes someone laugh so much, but I'm very glad we found it because
Yeah.
Okay, here's the deal, right? If I ever, for the love of God,
You
please
gotta
delete
let
it.
him laugh. You gotta let him laugh. You gotta let him laugh.
soul control yourself for the love of God.
All right.
Dear God, what have we done?
I told you not to send it, you ass.
We've befallen
What do you want me to do?
Pharaoh. The Pharaoh's curse has befallen upon these two poor citizens.
Okay. Okay. For those.
How are they
Hold
still
on.
laughing?
Okay. For those who don't know what they're laughing at, it's a picture of Dog Walker. It's a picture of Dog Walker with a super long jaw. And it says, when you're watching Romeo and Juliet 2, and your dad walk into the part where the gnome is shaking his butt, and there's a picture of the gnome shaking his butt.
And the image itself is like deep fried.
Yeah, it's really like pixelated and deep fried. Like it's there's no like oh my God, how long are you gonna laugh at this shit? Both of you are still laughing. Alright, guys, that's the end of the podcast. We will never
God,
be able
please
to
don't
control
shut it off here. No.
This is the All right, and thanks for watching this episode.
No,
We
you
will
seriously
never get
cut it
them to
off?
stop.
Oh,
Are
God,
you
don't cut it off,
done?
please.
For the love of
You
fuck.
are so gay.
Oh my God.
Please,
Here's what I'm gonna do, right?
Romeo and
Christmas time-
Juliet should never have been made.
So here's what I'm gonna do. Come Christmas time, if I ever meet with Soul, I'm going to give him a present, and it's going to be wrapped in that image. That the whole wrapping paper.
You're
is
going to
be
have that image wrapping paper. What you should do is have that. The present oh my God. Fucking God.
You know what you should do?
The present inside the wrapping paper is going to be a picture frame with that image. So I'm going to fucking murder you.
We should honestly make this this image should be in like a shirt.
Yeah, this would go hard. This would go hard on a shirt. Yeah, no, we give it. We put that image on his shirt. God, this podcast has turned into a 3-person podcast for the two-person audience.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
We put it on a shirt and we give it to Soul. Soul wears the shirt and then someone goes, "Oh hey, what the fuck is your shirt?" And Soul looks down and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's."
You would not be able to go to school. You would not be able to.
Soul would be bullied. Soul would be bullied so hard.
Go to the ER.
You need to go to the ER now, you goofathon.
You goofathon. Okay. Serious question. I have a serious question.
Good luck asking that in this environment.
No. I do have a serious question. No, I do. Actually, do. Amber is for something.
All right, lay down your question. What's your question?
Okay. Soul. Oh my God. I give up. Never mind. Forget my serious question.
Well, okay. I think we should all just have a moment of silence. A nice moment of silence for our fallen soldiers.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Soul and Jer.
You know what? Honestly, going back to the question of who's my favorite laugh and who has my favorite laugh in the FFB, it's between Jem and Hailey. 'Cause it's been a while since I've heard Hailey laugh. Holy shit. It's almost god tier. It's almost to the it's at the same level that I hold Jem's laugh at.
Alright,
Because holy shit.
I was gonna
ask your question.
I was gonna ask. Amber said you goofathon, and it reminded me of Soulathon.
Yeah.
I am just gonna ask. When was the Soulathon, the second one, released? Was it around?
It was,
Is it on Halloween?
well, it never actually released because.
Oh yeah.
I know.
Because there was a lot of complications that during the production.
Also, I think context for those who don't know, Soulathon was a musical event that Soul held where he produced a bunch of music for a bunch of different original characters and had people make original art for them, and he would upload them a bunch on different days, and it was a very fun little music event that we all enjoyed.
Well, it was the first one that actually got released, and that was only it was a lot of FNFs. It's basically FNF stuff. For those who don't know, FNF, Friday Night Funkin', the rhythm game that has taken the younger generation by storm. Vika 2021.
If you're watching this, that means you're either from the FFE and know about it, or you hate it.
Yeah, or that, or you for some reason found this, or you come from the r/FNF subreddit.
So I've never posted this video in the subreddit. I don't think any of them.
Thank God.
There is nobody in that subreddit I think who knows of this the existence of this podcast.
Okay, phew.
Yeah, and
You
the
are
thing
lucky.
is that like okay, so what were you gonna ask about the second solothon that never got released?
I was gonna ask if it released around this time. Do you
Um,
have any plans on making a third one? Not even right now, but just in the future.
I do want to bring back the idea because there's a lot that I want to do. I feel like if anything, I need more time to get settled into my real life world. I mean, my real life, because there's a lot of moving pieces going on, and I need to catch up with them and get things in order to actually settle in and focus on creative endeavors. I would like to bring that idea back at some point, and I'm and the thing is that um I'm very mixed about how I should go about this project because on one hand I want I want to work with people and and it would be awesome to have people who I know especially to help me with this project and make it a big thing because I do have ideas of a possible like story for my main OC which I think would beautifully work because there's just so many things that I want to do, so many broken pieces that need to be stitched up badly, and so many stitches that need to be done. But it's something that I feel like I'm passionate about. But at the same time, um, my second rendition of my passion project of Solathon, it it just it did a lot more harm than it did good, and I feel like ultimately in the end I did the right thing in terminating the project for the sake of everyone's health and well-being, and especially mine because it was getting taxing and with problems that were arising at that time. It just it's just uh, I want to bring it back. I just don't know how to bring it back and what to do in order to put out what I want to put out.
I'm just saying, because if you want to do another one, I'd be down to help. And if you want another like idea, I'd say to like I don't know how many ideas you have, but it would be cool to like basically have it so you drop like 5 songs, like 4 songs, let's say, that are
Mm-hmm.
like super well made and that you have a lot of people working for. Like I could
Mm-hmm.
help you like draw some stuff, and like
Right.
Trevor could
And
help you animate something or whatever. Like basically like like a small amount of songs that are super well polished.
right. And the thing is obviously I want Solathon to be something so much bigger than FNF because like FNF, like, don't get me wrong, there's cool things that could be done there, but what I wanted to actually do, I thought about this for a while. I was thinking the ambitious thing is to make an animated story, an animated series for um, my main OC and this overarching story that I want to share with the world. But something that I feel would do equal justice is is not a game, but um something like a comic. Well, not a comic. It's more like a no, because that technically it runs under comic. Ultimately, I want to do an animated series,
So
so
like
that way I
yeah,
can play off of writing, visual, auditory, um, and like emotional strings that enhance the experience.
hmm. Well, I definitely see that. I know what you're exactly talking about because I kind of want to like make a comic about stuff that I have. I see what you're talking about, but sometimes you just got to start with like small steps.
I know, and that's the thing. I know that this isn't gonna happen for a while, if at all, but it's something that I would ultimately like to do. as like a magnum opus of this character.
Magnum opus, price of progress.
Check it out, game banana, yo. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay,
Chris.
so you said this auditory experience, and I just like is anybody familiar with the Tucker Zone?
Nope.
Not familiar.
I highly, 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 highly recommend you guys listen to this, because the idea is that you put on headphones and it's like this guy Tucker who takes you through this like he takes you through this like 3D audio experience. Like if he speaks in your right ear, that's where the audio is going to play. If he speaks in your left ear, you know. And
This
then
just sounds like a combination
yeah.
of meditation and ASMR.
What, like
Not really,
stereo?
because the idea is that he's doing things around you, and you just kind of have to close your eyes and imagine everything.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's such an
stereo.
experience, you know. And
Okay, that still just sounds like meditation ASMR.
it's a lot more than that. It has nothing to do with ASMR. It's not really meditation either. It's just
Wait, hold
It's
on.
an experience.
it's a trippy audio experience. Like at some point he throws up papers and like you can hear the papers fluttering down like all the way around you. It's really cool. Anyway,
But yeah, and the thing is just to find the to basically try to make a character who spawned off of like a fan create of like, keep in mind this main character literally spawned off of my love for Faker Sonic, which had some drama going around with it in the FNF community when its song dropped for the Sonic.exe mod, but its story and that song inside of the FNF mod, it slaps. It slaps. I like the story. And it was something that I wanted to replicate, which started off as a Faker cover, which then turned into its own character with its own song, which now is becoming this massive phenomenon. I get it. But it's becoming, but for me, it's becoming this massive like part of this universe that I want to expand on, which obviously goes for a lot of main OCs and things like that, because everybody has a story to tell, which is the same thing here, which is why I want to be able to one day, like, I want to produce the most beautiful and the most elegant and heartbreaking music for what I would consider is probably the saddest and the most like sublime story that I think any of my characters could ever have attached to them. I think if anything, my OC, which as of right now his name is Faker Soul, I want him to have the most emotionally wrenching story out of any character I ever produce. Not just as an FNF thing, but as an extension of myself. If that's what you, if that's how I can put it.
Blood and Diamond.
River, why have you done this?
Takeaway.
Oh my god, that was a good comeback.
I was like, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what's the funniest way for me to like step in after he says all of this?
I can't believe you were not listening.
I've been feeling bad. Listen, so I loved your story about it, and honestly, I kind of relate to it. But I really do feel bad because we've had Hailey here, and she has basically said nothing.
I know.
Hailey, speak.
Yeah,
What
you're our
about
guest.
what?
You participate in the
Wait,
conversation.
no, hold on. I got a question now. Oh, I got a question now. Because we were talking about, well, you guys let me talk about Solathon, and I went on a little,
A little.
very deep ramble. Well, okay, I went on a ramble about me wanting to make the most heart wrenching character I can possibly make. Um, what it, I guess, what I can ask is, what is what is a massive like um art a massive creative ambition that you guys have to go over the course of your life that you want to complete as like your big project, your big break. And I want to start with Haley because I want her response.
Is it Saki?
Yeah, but like, I don't have any motivation to do it. I probably won't, just because. Why?
Like because I do remember reading Sake's information inside of the ref channel, and I do have to say that like I said to you before, I genuinely think Saki it has massive amounts of potential for being like an extremely well written protagonist in some sort of overarching story. Like I genuinely think that because there's because it feels because reading all like the stuff from paper at first it's a little bit like you read about like the shyness but also like the super extrovertedness when with friends and then also like reading about like some of the other like personality stuff it's just like at first you're like wait what I've never seen this before but then you think about it it's like I've never seen this before this would be really good and that's exactly the type of like mental like explosion that I had like Haley again um uh, like is Saki like a character you want to explore like incredibly massively like what are some projects that you would want to expand her and her universe given that these are projects that you would want to happen.
I don't know. I don't know. I gotta work on that game I was talking about with her in it.
Ooh.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I brought it up to you. So the entrance. What do you call it? The entrance to the college I want to go to for the major I want. I make you storyboard a game and like plan it out. I was gonna do something with her. I did talk about it to you actually.
Yeah, because I do remember bits of conversation we had about the game you wanted to create. It was very it was I think it was a very scarce topic within Saki as a whole. Um by the way, if you guys haven't, you guys should totally read the Saki lore that is inside of the ref channel. I highly
Yeah.
highly recommend it. Do that probably after this podcast if you guys have time. Please. It's really good. I genuinely enjoy the direction that the character is going in. Like I advocated
Alright.
but I would definitely love to see more of like generally more of your characters, more of your art, more of Hailey cuz I feel like there's so many things that you want to expand on that would absolutely be amazing to witness, you know? That's how I personally view it.
I see it as like that too. I would like to see more.
Please, 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 please,
You're like the first person I talked about that lore with.
yeah.
A long time ago though. It's mostly different, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember.
Oh, wait, with me?
How with you? We were up at like 2 a.m. talking about it, but I don't remember what it was about because
You talked
the
about
story
me.
changes.
I remember you talked to me about Saki like ages ago. I'm not even sure if it's still the same. I remember, I think you told me she had a gun. Wait, no. You told me
At
how.
a point, she had a gun.
You
Mhm.
told me she had a katana and the type of katana she had, and then you also told me about what was his name, the one that sounded like your house in Spanish.
The Casa, yeah,
Yeah,
Yes.
and
it's still a thing. But like, I don't know what to
Mhm.
do with him.
Yeah. And like in general, there's characters who I feel like everybody has that you know, like they're characters, they exist, they just don't know what to do with them. And I feel like in Haley's case, I would genuinely like to see more. Um, and I advocate her art. And if you do end up posting more on like social medias, you better believe I'm gonna be reposting that shit and gassing that shit up because it's something that I feel is amazing, nice, and like easy on the eyes. That's what I think.
I don't plan on doing anything for a while though, because I'm working on something else.
Right. But if
Has
you
to do
do,
with her,
just know
but
I'll
like,
be there. I'll be there to gas
it's
your
not
shit up.
drawing.
Well, you can put like cheeseburgers as a tweet, and I'll be like, "Hey, yo, everybody, gas this fucking tweet up, fucking cheeseburger, because I got barbecue bacon burger. This shit's baller."
I don't even. I'm thinking about it. I don't even know if I can put it online because
Mm-hmm.
um I'll wait for it. I can put it I can technically write it out, but
Mm-hmm.
it'll
online.
work.
You can't put it online.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean?
Let's find out.
What do you mean you can't put it online?
Can't put it online, duh.
Like,
Yeah.
huh?
I mean, I won't fight that logic. But when you do,
It
just
just
know
would
I
be
will.
hard because I don't like handwriting,
Mhm.
and I kind of have to do that.
Mm.
Uh,
Well, well, thank you, Haley. I'm appreciated. That you answered my question. Um,
your word count. Good job.
wow, Gem. You know what? Since you like talking, you answer next. You answer next. What is a big artistic ambition that you want to eventually put out that is like the biggest thing that you can make, or like just a really massive thing that you want to do?
um, I have. I think I've talked this with Snaps a lot. Sanpe, good friend from the FV, for those who don't know. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I've talked with her a bunch of times about this, but I, I don't know how to describe it because it's pretty big. It's
Mm-hmm.
basically, I have like 3 stories that I'm trying to develop all at the same time. Of course, I don't have time, so I'm just focusing on one right now. And currently, I haven't said anything about it because I want to keep it under wraps. And I've been like super quiet about it on the FFV, but
Mm-hmm.
I have been developing a story and I have
Mm-hmm.
been writing. The gears have been turning. I have a pretty big chunk of a story written. I've been revising it when I can. Uh, I to be I'm gonna say this. For those of the FFV who may be listening, I did. This is not part of like the big wave because currently, right now, it's like the big thing for everybody to start writing up
Mm-hmm.
their lore stories. I started
Yeah.
before I start. This happened because of I think it's Noira. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah, that was yeah, it was that was actually Freya's story, the
Yeah,
our previous guest on our podcast, I
yeah.
believe.
Freya dropped this massive story in like 5 days or so, and everybody was like, "Wow, now I want to write." Just saying, I've been writing
Yeah.
this before that. I started writing this around when Protectors of Hope episode 7 came out. So I've been writing this for a good deal of time,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm thinking right now that I'm gonna write this story, and then I want eventually, hopefully, I'll be way much better than I am right now. Hopefully, in the future, I can possibly. Well, actually, no, it's not possibly. I will. Like, I am absolutely tasking myself that I will turn this story into some sort of visual experience, maybe a comic,
Mm-hmm.
like comic without text or something. But I am 100% tasking myself on making this story
Mm-hmm.
be a comic. But I want to finish this one, and I'm gonna move on to another one,
Yeah.
another one. So I have like 4 stories I need to write, and then after that, I
Mm-hmm.
need to move on to another bigger story that basically puts everything together. That's my plan, and that definitely isn't gonna finish anytime soon. But that's my big aspiration
Ow. Mm-hmm.
to
Well.
basically, hopefully, be like the end goal to have a cool
Mm-hmm.
comic that people can read.
Yeah.
Hopefully, of course, like you could, of course, everybody's big aspirations to have like some Netflix show about it, but I'm good with settling in for a comic. I think that'd be
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool to do.
Yeah. And I think that is admirable that you have a goal that you want to portray a story, and I think in general, with like how long you've been writing your story so far, well, the first one, I am excited to see when that drops, and I can't wait to read it. And I have a lot of reading to do because I got a lot of things to read.
Yeah, same. All
Of
right. Well, thank you. And now
course.
I'm gonna pass it on to River.
River.
Next, yeah, you.
Oh
Alright,
boy.
River. What is your biggest artistic ambition that you are
Okay,
hoping to
now
reach?
as much as I would love to answer this, it's more so that mine isn't as like great, I
It
guess,
doesn't
as
matter.
what
It
you
doesn't.
guys
It
would
doesn't
probably do.
matter. It's what you
So
think is great.
no, it's
It's a
because
subjective
I
question.
genuinely think that it's disappointing, and I don't want to like
I don't.
try and hype this up if it's just going to be like mega dog
River,
shit.
we don't fucking
So
care. Say
We
it.
don't
I
care.
care. So
Yeah,
what
Do it.
I'm
We
going to
don't.
do for the
No.
time
Hold on, I'll be
being.
back.
Come on. Answer the question. Answer the
So for
question.
the time being, I'm gonna pass this over to Amber, and then if you guys want, you can come back to me.
We will be coming
Whatever.
back to you. Don't say if we
Whatever.
want. We will be.
Whatever. Fool. All right, Amber. So
But
I must ask you
very
this
well. I
question.
will.
What?
I will move on. So my
I need
project.
to. You know, I want to ask the question first.
Okay. Okay.
So
We don't even know
Amber,
what the fucking question is. Why
but
do you
I'm
need
gonna
to?
ask it again. So Amber, what is your biggest artistic ambition that you want to reach at some point? Go.
Okay. So I'm sure you know exactly what this is, Soul, because I shared it with you.
Yeah. Right.
So I've had a concept for a game for maybe a year to
Mhm.
2 years now. I forget how long it's been since I made it, and it's I wrote it like all at like 4 in the morning or something. I wrote the entire thing at like 3 in the morning. At just one day, I just stayed up late and I was like, I don't know, write a story for something. I did, and I was really happy with the story. And I wanted to start on it. And since then, I haven't done much. But what I'm basically doing is trying to learn more and be able to get to the point where I can make this game, and
Mhm.
and it's because I'm very happy with how the story eventually came out, and I have a lot of I think that I want it to be the best that it can be, and I don't want it to be like one of the first things I make, and it just feels like I didn't do it justice. So I want to make smaller projects along the way, and eventually get to a point where I can be at this point where I have enough experience and skill to make the game the best that I want to make it, and that's come from And that all came from me at
Mhm.
3 a.m. saying, I have an idea for a story. So I went on my computer, opened up OpenOffice, and started typing 6 pages worth of content. um,
Mhm.
it was a lot. It was a lot of fun to think about that stuff. I love and I also wanted to comment on. I heard Jem say,
Mhm.
Freya wrote a story and then everybody wanted to be a writer after she wrote it. Um,
Mhm.
I I've always wanted to like actually write full stories. Um, but
Mhm.
the thing is that I it's very much a thing of like I it's easy to write into a corner or like
Mhm.
not know where I'm gonna go with it, or
Yeah.
b to like write enough that I kind of lose interest after some amount of time. Also, confession. Um, this is my official confession to the FFE. I have never read any of the stories and I have not read a single bit of Protectors of Hope. I have not read Freya's story. I have not read any of Aku's short stories. Very
Yeah,
very
they're all garbage. It's okay.
uh
Wow.
I'm a traitor, I know, but the reason that I never
Okay,
have.
so
Hmm?
the funny thing that you mentioned, like not reading any of those things, is that I want to say that I agree with you because I I'm pretty much on that same page of not having read anything, but at the same time, people kept gassing Protectors of Hope, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a
Mhm.
read. And Protectors of Hope was the only story that I got hooked on. So
Yeah, I
It's
think.
really fucking good. Senpei's an amazing writer.
this
Just
this is
want to
true.
shout them. I just want to shout her out right now. Senpei, if you're listening to this, we love you. You're an amazing writer. Keep writing Protectors of Hope.
Let's go, my sister.
Hell yeah. Keep
I think,
writing.
yeah, if ever a time that Protectors of Hope is released publicly, and b I can ever put links in the description of this channel, uh then I will promote that on this channel. We will do
Hell
it.
yeah.
But
Guaranteed.
yeah, my reason for not reading any of those is because it's not because like I'm not interested in them. It's just like the commitment of, and especially now, the more Protectors of Hope chapters that have come out, it's even longer of a commitment because I can't just start in the middle. Uh,
Hmm.
to the point where it's like, well, now I have to go back, read X amount of chapters of Protectors of Hope to get to the current one, and then that's basically like a reading assignment in English class, except I'm doing it myself. um,
Yeah.
and like I'm not like going away from it because I think it'll be boring or I think it'll be bad or anything like that. It's just I have to put in so much time to read so much, and like I have so many other things that I want to do that isn't just, and plus not to mention that I have a terrible habit of not being able to focus on one thing for very long, which means that it'll make my reading process even longer. I have to sit there. I can't watch a video on the side. I can't listen to music because that'll it distract me from the actual reading. I have to sit there
Mhm.
and read the story while I'm staring at Discord, and it's just like all that combined. It's just like, I could, if I read it, maybe I'll read it eventually. Sanpei should create.
Mhm.
Sanpei should record audiobook of Protectors of.
Oh, you should narrate it.
True.
Yeah,
And
we need Protectors of Hope audiobook edition.
I'll put on a
audible.
calming voice and I'll do a
Oh, we're
I'll
gonna work.
create the audiobook
Also,
experience.
that that
Yeah.
reminds, I have something to bring up because I was reminded of audiobooks. But first, River.
Yeah, the river. We are coming back to you. What is your biggest What is your
You
biggest
already asked
creative
the question.
ambition that
You
you
have to
want to
that.
work
You don't have
on
to ask
right
it
now?
again.
I know. I just clarifying the question again,
But
so
yes,
River knows exactly what
River.
she's answering.
Please tell. I want to know.
Okay, so most of you guys already know this, and by most of you, I mean, I'm sure I've told Saul and Amber this. I'm sure I've told quite a few people in the FFB.
Mhm.
I'm currently developing a game. Well, Amber, do you want to talk about the thing we're working on, or
Um. Well, I mean, is that related to this? Is that what you're?
no? I mean, that's what I was going to talk about was a different thing, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Basically, me and River were playing Undertale 2, and we were like, we should make our own shitpost game, and we did that for like, uh, a few hours before we swapped to playing a game. But hey, we'll make it eventually.
we went off to playing Strive afterwards.
Yeah, that was our development. But we were starting to develop that, and maybe we will at some point in the future. But back to
we
your
can
game.
let's pick that back up soon,
Yeah.
because we do have some really good ideas going on here with it.
Hmm.
Um, the biggest, I guess, aspiration that I have with, as far as anything artistically, would be the RPG game I'm developing.
Mhm.
It's based around a nightmare that I had like many years ago, but it sticks with me for some reason, and it gave me like a totally different viewpoint on people, I guess. Um, I don't really know how to explain that, but then I was like, what if I like instead of trying to overanalyze this one nightmare, what if I turned it into its? What if I turned it into something? What if I made media out of it? Like as crazy, like as stupid as that sounds, why don't I just turn this into media and turn this into something that like I could be passionate about and like I
Mhm.
don't really know how else to explain that. I wanted to. I guess I wanted to make light out of a dark situation, which is
Yeah.
kind of twisted in its own way, I guess.
Mm, not really. I mean,
To give like a quick rundown, basically in this nightmare, I'm going like room to room, facing off against these weird like demonic deities, and halfway through, I meet with this council. They're all wearing like dark cloaks, and at some point, they all pull their hoods off, and it's like various family members, and coaches, and teachers that I've worked with in the past, and beyond that, I face one final demon, and the demon presumably kills me at the end of this nightmare. Um, and I was like, what if I turned it into something? So the initial concept that I came up with was actually like a 2D platforming type game that never really took off. I don't think I've ever mentioned that up until now, actually. The original like beta concept for it, I guess, was a 2D platformer. I think it was going to be like a run and gun type game because I was really into Cuphead at the time.
mhm.
Good photo.
So I was going to take some elements from there, and then possibly some elements from like 2D, like early 2D Mario games where like you can jump off of walls and stuff. Um, I tried working with Game Maker Studio and Godot, but I couldn't really get the handle of how the code functioned for those engines. I shouldn't say engines, but just programs in general. Um, so I came up and then I got my hands on RPG Maker MV, and I don't remember where I found that one. Amber, did you give me MV or did I find that one?
I gave you MZ.
Oh, that's right, MZ. Um, Oh, that's right. I think I found MV like on Steam Unlocked, I think, and then it was like everything I could have pictured for an RPG game, and maybe a little bit more if I had found the right materials. But for the longest time, it didn't really take off, and so I was like, and then I forget what it was exactly. I think it was when I made that joke video of Kyu exploding.
Mhm.
That I picked up RPG Maker again for like the first time in ages, and when I had MZ, like I mostly had downloaded MZ because A, Amber had given it to me, and B, it was already right there. I had already made like a joke quote unquote game, I guess, of this like you know
Mhm.
of an already pre-made story, and I I was like, why don't I just pick this up again? I took all the materials out from the old project, put it into MZ, and I was like, I could I could redo everything here. I could remake the characters to
Mhm.
so they actually look like they were made in MZ and not MV. God forbid. Um, and I started expanding, and before I knew it, I had created like 5 rooms for the player to interact with, a whole bunch of NPCs. I don't know how many like boss fights there are going to be. I originally was going to have 8, but then I was like, no, that's too much. Because that would require me to make some extra story for those characters, give them like context, and I really didn't feel like doing all that, so I think I cut it down to 6. Um, but all of the characters at one point or another are going to hold some sort of semblance to an event that's happened with me in real life. So I guess to kind of sum all this up nicely, the biggest creative aspiration that I have is for this horror style RPG game that's going to feature a bunch of puzzle rooms and maybe a room or two with grinding. Like you're going to need to grind your way through it a couple times.
Yeah.
But I also want it to be visually appealing, and I also want it to play nice. You know what I mean?
Well, of course, because
Amber,
the gameplay experience is important too.
Right. Amber gave me some pretty good, like a shitload of plugins for it. But a good majority of them I don't really understand how they work.
Some illegal hardware.
And what was that one option that you showed me, Amber? It was like, it was very off inspired.
Oh yeah, the battle style.
Yeah.
Where you can either set it to the traditional turn-based RPG, the active battle, or the active battle wait.
And I think ultimately I'm going to go for the active battle wait option, because that's when a bar fills up and then something happens. Like you have to make an input for something to happen.
For context, a lot of games refer to it as an ATP bar, where each character has a bar that fills up at a value generally based on their speed. The higher the speed, the faster the bar fills up. When the bar fills up, that means they can take their turn and do their action, and when they do their turn, their bar resets. Some games take different advantages to this, where I've been playing a game where they do that ATP bar mechanic, and different moves will reduce the ATP bar to different amounts, so they can have different delays. But you can do stuff with that, and generally speaking, the difference between an active and wait style of it is that when in active, your every turn, the opponent will everything will just happen, and you have to decide your moves quickly. ATP bars will fill up at the same time, and ATP bars will continue to fill up while a character is taking their turn, so you don't really get much downtime. And the wait style pauses the battle while you're making a decision for one of your team members. And that's the difference. Technical explanations from Amber about mechanics.
But yeah, I was going to implement the wait style, so I guess to make everything feel a little more like, I guess balanced would be the word for it. I don't really know how to explain that, but I just wanted to. I want the overall gameplay to feel like smooth and well-rounded, I guess. So most of what I want to do is more on a technical level, as opposed to like visually appealing. But I'm also still trying to learn music, So hopefully the auditory experience will make it better.
Yeah.
And actually, I've been getting a lot of really helpful music tips from the lovely and charismatic Soul over here.
Hello.
By the way, Soul, like, honestly, if it weren't for Soul, I don't think I'd be half as good as I am now in FL Studio. Which is kind of a funny thought in and of itself, considering I introduced him to LMS, and then after he picked up LMS, he picked up FL Studio, and then he was like, he was practically like pushing FL Studio to me, like, you should totally use it.
And the funny thing is that you were using it, but you were using it for chromatics, for like
Yeah, I had a
and
trial version at the time. I couldn't afford it at the time,
right.
and then I got college, like I got like college funds.
You got financial aid, I believe, right?
Financial aid, yeah, and this allowed me. And I kid you not, they gave me like what was it, $1,300 or something like that. And I was telling my mom, I really want to spend like $400 on FL Studio, and she was like, well, we need to put the money towards bills. And I said, I know, but like, this is the only thing I'll ever ask for that's so expensive. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that this is costly, and I understand that money also needs to go towards bills, but this would really send my creative aspirations through the roof. And she was like, this is going to be the only thing you're getting for a while. And I was like, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm an easy to please person. Like, you know what I mean?
And the thing is that with the full like FL Studio, like, you got to keep in mind that the full FL Studio is stacked. It has so many in-program plugins. It has absolute like freedom to do a bunch of things in like your playlist, your channel rack, all sorts of like shit. And you can even use like outside plugins. You can save your music and export it. There's all sorts of things that you can do that the trial doesn't. And of course, you can buy other things. You can buy like the more cheaper versions of FL Studio too, so that way you're not like spending so much money. But the thing is that with all the plugins, you have the absolute like creative prowess that is not limited to like third-party plugins that cost like hundreds of dollars. Because there's a plugin that I want because it'll allow me to make cinematic fucking like shit that you would hear in like movie trailers, called Contact 7 Complete, where it's a player that allows you to use different instruments that are high quality, and that motherfucker costs like $300. That plugin alone is $300. FL Studio full version is $300. Like, it's $300 for a DAW that's like expensive, but $300 for a single plugin. I know it's like crazy as fuck, but the amount of like creativity and the amount of freedom that I would have in order to express myself with high grade instruments that are legitimately free, like cinematic drums and cinematic horns that are free on Contact. It's just a matter of actually getting Contact, which is very costly. But I would love to have it. It's amazing. I wish everybody had Contact. It's super amazing. By Native Instruments, if you're a music producer, Native Instruments is amazing, and Contact Player is expensive, but definitely worth your time. I'm definitely trying to get my hands on it. But yeah, with the whole thing of you making a game about your nightmare, and like, even if you think that's small, and
no, it's not so much that I think it's small. I know that it's going to take like a lot of work, but it doesn't feel as big as what you guys are developing. Like, you've got this thing for creating a story that you want to put.
We are both making like games. I don't know how mine is any bigger than yours.
Yeah, I mean, bigger in the sense that like it sounds like you're going to have all of this, like all these cool features and
No,
Like,
I'm not. It's just a game that tells a story.
I know,
Yeah,
but that's
just like
what
how
I'm
your
saying.
game tells
Like,
a story.
I'm saying,
You're tr-
like, yours tells a story in the sense that, like, you're you're building a world basically, and I'm building something off of. I'm building. I'm building a game based off of
And that's not a
like
world?
That's
some
not a
shitty.
yeah.
Like
It's not a shitty one. It's a nightmare that's stuck with you for a while and has a significant impact on how you live.
I would like to
It's
give.
not about what's better and what's bigger. It's about putting out the story that you want to put out.
There's
Whether
games.
it's something that you lived through like a dream, whether it's a story that you've come across in real life, or it's something that you're creating through the works of literacy or not. It it's a matter of you wanting to share a story that you want to share with the world, and I think that is more than anything than anyone can take away from you.
I also want to point out that the best example I can think of for a case of like a dream based game is um so I know that you know that the fan game the Five Nights at Freddy's fan game Five Nights at Flumpty's or One Night at Flumpty's.
Yeah.
um the second and third games were both the concepts for those were both taken from a dream that the creator had, and both of them came out like, people loved those games as fan games. And while that's kind of a niche example, it still reflects that you can take a dream that you have and things from it and make a genuinely good experience and out of it. And it's not devalued because it's a dream. It's still something that can stand up on its own, even though I'm making my own original story that just came out of my half dream sleep deprived 3 a.m. brain.
Yeah. And it's not and I get that if you're trying to make a profit off of a game or something, there's competition in just about every aspect of making a game. But if you're putting out a story, just trying to get a story out and to share it with the world because it's something that you are very passionate about, or it's something that you just find too much fixation on to not ignore, um, or too much fixation on to ignore. Um, I, I think that there is nothing more beautiful than the sheer fixation on putting out putting out a narrative that you want to put out, because in the end it's something that you want to put out, irregardless of the production, irregardless of the size. Everybody in the entire world who is going through some sort of creative prowess is telling a story or wanting to tell a story in the same boat that you are. And it doesn't matter how it doesn't matter how big or how small it has to be and all this other type of stuff, because all of that is very subjective. And for you, if it's a rather smaller game that tells the story of your nightmare, then isn't that exactly what you want to tell? If anything, I think that's more than admirable, because there's some people who want to put out this big old thing, but they can't even start where to think of their story because they're too focused on putting out something big, or they're too focused on a different thing that doesn't allow them to focus on the storytelling, which a lot of people don't. A lot of people can. A lot of people say they ignore, but they don't. I know that for a fact. What do you feel about that, Vipa?
I mean, I, I mean, you raise a lot of really good points. I'll admit.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Remember, there's
Yeah.
a point. There has to be some point where you have to realize that, just completely unrelated from the game, you have to realize that at some point you're you're viewing this game as a product of yourself, and inherently you are going to hate it more because it comes from yourself.
What do you
It's like
like?
it's like the phrase that you are your harshest critic, because
Right.
because it comes from you and your brain. You are going to inherently be more critical and more disappointed in it. And I think it's just, ignore that.
So
Ignore
are you?
that's the reason why people ask others for for constructive criticism, because you criticizing your own thing is probably going to, especially if you're not a professional in the area and you don't know what makes something good or what makes something a bit more bland or bad or anything like that. uh, if you really think that your project is boring or not worth it or anything like that, take it to someone else and ask their opinion on it, because I guarantee you that they are going to give a more accurate reading of it than you are to yourself.
So okay.
The
Here's
second
what
part.
since you're so critical of like of how I shouldn't be taking like essentially what you're telling me, what I'm gathering from all this anyways, is that I shouldn't be like everything that I do should be taken with a grain of salt, essentially. And that if I'm too harsh on myself, that it could actually end up being bad, or
I think like it's less of it like it ends up being bad. It's more like you get into this loop of like this isn't satisfying enough. This isn't good enough. So you erase it and try to tinker with stuff, remake it, and you're just getting into this loop of I don't like this part. Or I don't like this whole project, and you scrap it, and then you eventually just never get anything done. And it's that kind of loop where you have to have someone else there to kind of mediate things until you know this is good. You're thinking too much about how this is going to be a thing, because believe me, I've done it a lot. That is like 90% of my projects, where I'll start writing the story and I'll like focus on one spot, like wait, no, this people are going to notice this doesn't make sense, and I'm like I feel like I think about it later and I'm like I feel like I'm the only one who's going to notice that because I wrote it.
Mhm.
mm-hmm. I think I think the hardest part for me is creating a coherent story.
Oh
I'm
god,
not so worried
that is the hardest
like
part for me also.
I'm not
Mhm.
so worried about like character building or world building or whatever. It's more so getting a cohesive story together. Like I could create lore for these characters and have it be explained through cutscenes or whatever. But there's something so much better about like having all of this information be optional for those who are like genuinely interested in the story. And what I want to do is like scatter bits and pieces of lore around the the exploration areas. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
like have like a secret room that you can access from a code or something, and then like that room will have all the information for like the history between characters or how that character came to be. And I want it also to make sense, I guess. I want, you know, I want people to look at this information and go, "Oh, that's cool," or "Oh, okay,"
Yeah, I get that.
And that's that's hard to do, especially with, I guess, the concept that my game is going for,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and trying to tie those two together. I feel like would be a challenge, but one that I really want to follow through with.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so, yeah, having the story be optional, something that people can take enjoyment in, and that's that's the hardest part for me, I
Yeah,
think.
I agree. That one is the hardest part for me too. It just takes work, peer review, stuff like that. It can be hard, but it's just something you work through it. You come up with something that you're at least mostly satisfied with, and other people say is good enough to make, and then you ship it.
Okay, so hold on. I just now pulled open the chat. Like, I have not been looking at my computer this whole time. I turned back to my computer and find a picture of Jem eating a cookie, I guess.
Yeah.
And
memes have been being sent.
And then I find my joke character, Pickles the Echidna. What was the inspiration behind you putting that down, Soul?
I just felt like it.
And I hate to cut us off, but we are currently at 3 hours 9 minutes.
Oh
We can
my
keep
Lord.
going.
Record. No, we try to cap ourselves at around 3 hours, so we're not recording for ridiculously long, and also so it doesn't take so much time to upload. So
This can be a special episode.
no,
A Christmas special.
that's not Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah, everybody.
An early Christmas.
Yeah, the most we can celebrate is that we had a Monkey Brain's birthday, because I had it 2 days ago. Woo me.
Happy birthday.
Ooh.
Birthday.
I'm so
Happy super late birthday, Amber.
Yeah, hooray! Happy birthday to me. And
Happy
say
Happy
happy
birthday.
birthday to me in the comments below. I am incredibly narcissistic.
Happy Litter Day.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe and comment and share and favorite and spam this in Discord servers.
If you have a birthday, leave a comment.
If you have a birthday, leave the video.
Leave the video because it's ending right now. Goodbye, everybody. See ya. Join us next episode for more shenanigans. Yeah, bye-bye.
Comment if I should replace River.
Everyone subscribe and like if Hailey should replace River as our mascot.
What? No, let's fight.
Yeah.
See you next
You can be
episode.
the